What up?
What up, people? It's your boy White from Bubble Breads, aka Slap You, aka Say It Again, y'all mean?
Hey, it's your man, Big Maul OG, Big Maul from Queens, and we are Borough Bread.
Yo, yo, I'm gonna talk to the people because we've been going for a long time, son.
We've been on hiatus for a long time. Long time. Thank you for your wait. Thank you for holding out for us. We got a lot of hit ups on like where y'all at. We get to 5,000 and then we bounce like we did it, like we won. But honestly, I went on hiatus personally. I had some arrangements and transition of moving and stuff I had to do, get myself, my family situated. Going back and forth across the states, visiting family. And then I lost my beloved brother. Big shout out to Elliot. I lost him. Um, that took a while for me to jump back into it, man. That's my heart. That's my go-to. And now I had to send him off to make sure he's looking over us. You know what I mean? As an angel as he is now. Um, Everything else was we just working behind the scenes, doing a lot of other stuff, getting stuff
Right.
ready. I don't want to go into a lot of stuff me and White working on, but we about to bubble on some other projects outside of Boroughbreds. It's going to probably get steady soon. Big shout out to my man Log. Um, Basically, and that's it, man. But we're here. We're back, yo. You
Yeah,
can't
it's been
keep
a
us
minute.
away too long, yo.
You feel
Can't
me?
keep
It's
us
been a
away
minute,
too
but we
long.
back. You know what I'm saying?
But we
We
back, yo. Well, we are back.
handling
We back.
personal shit.
Yo, we back with one of the biggest interviews. All right, this interview is supposed to have happened when we first started the show almost 3 years ago, yo. So um tonight we got one of my dear mentor, friend, brother, you know, the white no man,
Word,
like
word.
we
He been
pretty
in the
much,
family with
yeah,
you
man.
forever. He damn near your brother, yo. He damn near
Yeah,
your
he my
brother, yo.
brother, man. Like introduced me to the game pretty much on the real side of the music game.
One of the first
And
geniuses I ever met, nigga. Neil's a genius, B.
yeah. Then he's a
You
freaking
know?
genius. So we got him coming up. He's backstage. He's about to come up in a little bit. And we're about to kick it with him. But this is a long overdue interview. It's gonna be detailed because it's more about my life. Like White's the second part of my life as far as like Atlanta, but this dude was my first part of my
The
life
first
of New
part,
York.
yeah.
That
And transition to Atlanta, all that.
transition to being ready for people like White and everybody to move on to. So big shout out to Neal Kelley. He'll be here tonight. And we gonna get it in. We're gonna get in. Y'all gonna hear a lot of stuff. This dude's been doing a lot of stuff for a long time. So you're gonna hear a lot of stuff. Besides that, White, headlines since we've been going. I know there's too many headlines that we've been going. So the closest one is what you were saying. You were saying the BET Awards.
Yeah, we've been
I
saying
try
this
to
for
watch as
like
much as I
a long
can.
time with the 50th anniversary. So we always been promoting it, but it just came up and then BET just celebrated it and they had their whole, rolled out, which I heard a lot of feedback and a lot of people didn't like it. Which the
Right.
BET Award to me has always kind of been trash, but I thought this time was alright, but a lot of
Okay.
people,
I only saw the Busta Rhymes. I thought the Busta Rhymes
that was
tribute
a
was
bust.
dope. I thought it was really dope. Um, I
And
thought the
Buster
way he
Sims is
presented himself, he did a
like
real
that.
class act.
The new generation and the old generation, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he
So much
explained that
shit.
really good. How you like the way he explained that?
I thought it was dope, and I thought the fact it was kind of like a street perspective as well, because he was like, if you don't look good, why would a young boy kind of like say I and listen to you? So then he was like, we still look good, we winning, we making
Exactly.
money, pretty much. He was like, if he was washed up, pretty much ain't nobody gonna look at him. So I thought that was dope.
Exactly. I thought that was a
You know?
dope. Yeah, I thought that was dope too. I thought it was dope how he acknowledged let these kids play, let them do what they need to
Hmm.
do, enjoy. He broke down the names and all that. Everybody brand new and stuff like that. You were telling me that people was feeling that it was like female driven too much
Well,
on
I
some of the
mean,
cases.
I think so, but I mean, that's what the industry is right now, especially for New Yorkers. You know what I'm saying? We got all of New York that's winning, from starting from Cardi B from the Bronx, then you got Cardi Ray. I think I don't know if she's from Jersey or the Bronx, I don't know, but then you got Ice Spice from the Bronx. Now you got Scarlett from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Like the females is damn near running this shit. And
Yeah,
I guess people thought it was kind of watered down, but yo, don't hate on them. Don't hate on these people. They killing it.
they killing it
They make
for
it.
real.
You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. I
Nah,
love
they
it.
killing it. I'm
Love
loving
it.
it too, and I totally agree with your theory. Um, Personally, I know you're gonna think this theory's kind of crazy, but I think that 6ix9ine messed it up for everybody. They second guessing dudes coming in the industry now, yo. Like, is it
I
is it
mean,
they
it's not
second
only
guessing like
6ix9ine.
like like
It's not only
like
6ix9ine. It's that drill shit. When niggas is talking that real shit from Bobby Schmurder and all his team getting locked up to
the
niggas in
Rico,
Atlanta.
the Rico and the
The
killing.
Rico
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. So
hmm
it's kind of stirring up a lot. You know what I'm saying? As far as niggas
Well,
talking about what they really did. You
and I
know.
think that sums it up. I think it's the Rico. I think it's the op killing talking. Pretty much snitching on yourself, and the real snitches like sneak like 6ix9ine all wrapped into where people starting to say, "Yo, the masculinity is just too much for this drill scene." So the girls are coming in with drill like
But,
we ain't coming with all that. We can say something raw and shake our butts, and you good. You know what
right,
I
because
mean? Or-
they in the streets, but they not in the street. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's the
yeah.
dope part. You know what I'm saying? That's what these young boys don't understand. Like you could rap that thug shit, but you can't be doing both. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
Nah, it's
kind of like
refreshing,
Power.
man.
Power with Ghost. Ghost, you can't be a killer and a businessman. It just ain't gonna work.
Right? No, it
So that's
didn't.
kind of what the streets has been going through for a minute now. Like these young boys think they can somehow finagle both, and they can't. You know what I'm
No, you're
saying?
right. You're right.
You know.
You're right. But yeah, but what else went on the BET Awards? Who else performed? I know you said Ice Spice
So yeah, Ice
joint
Spice
was
and
dope. I
what's
saw
the
Coyle Ray. Did Coyle Ray only
by the way,
perform with Buster?
yeah, she did. But the thing about her is she came out. I don't know if you noticed her outfit. She had that outfit on.
Right.
It was just all the females that's in the industry, up and coming in the like all their names was on her outfit.
Oh, that was dope.
Yo, so she paid homage to the females, and I was like, damn, that's kind of dope. And a lot of people didn't pay attention to that, but they put it out there afterwards. But now I was like,
That's dope.
I seen it. It was like fucking Cardi B, Scarlett, Brat, um, any dope female, she had them on her shit, yo.
Did anybody else like Buster perform? Any older dudes or whatever
I
perform?
can't. Yeah, there was a lot of older heads performed.
I know you said Fat Joe showed his face.
Fat Joe. What's it's so many. I ain't gonna lie, there was mad people that performed and shit. I thought it was dope though. I thought and then I seen Freeway and them. They came out earlier. I don't think they was
Okay.
actually on the BT stage, but they did some right earlier. And said
Right.
like, but it was mixed up though. That's what I mean. It was kind of throwing people off because they come out with the old school heads. Like, no, they did from the beginning of rap to the new. They kept going back and forth.
So they tried to do like this, yeah, respect to the 50 and all that. So
Right,
they tried to
right.
do it.
I
Yeah.
don't even think that people understood that. I was like, that was shit is so dope because that shit never happens where you got the young people performing with the old people. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I thought that was dope because it's giving the old heads is there for the like say old people want to hear old music. We get to hear these young people and if we like it, we like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hip hop is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We just
Right.
can't keep this is what Buster. We can't keep saying nah, this shit is whack because we old. And they can't keep saying this shit is whack because you know what I'm saying. They young, you know. So it is what it is, though. I don't know why your man Moore put me on a big screen and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, he come back freezing up, yo. But
Oh no,
anyway,
I didn't freeze up. I technical difficulty. I was trying to. So Neil got people in Uganda looking at it. So I
oh
had to send
wow,
the message out to Uganda
dope,
to
dope.
go
Shout
ahead
out
and
to
make
Neil. We
sure he
about to
good.
bring Neil in. Yo, in
Yep.
50th hip hop, Neil got to be involved in because like I said, you know, he was involved with you. He started you in this hip hop, so we can
Yes.
kind of talk about your journey. He brought you to what's her name? Rest in peace. Left Eye. He was cool with Left Eye. He
Yeah, it's cool with
brought her
left eye.
crib.
Like we had a lot. You gonna hear a lot of stuff. Yo, you gonna hear a lot of stuff with me and Neil. Me and Neil had a long walk journey together. Like it actually, like my whole career actually started with my cousin, which is like technically my brother Devon. He actually introduced me to the park jams and stuff like that. But and really introduced hip hop to me. God bless Devon. He
Right,
actually, you know, between him and Elliot, they introduced me to hip hop. But Neil, we had this neighbor named Vicky Love who had a hit record on the radio on my block, and Neil was involved with her, and she
right,
knew that I wanted to come up in music, and she to keep me from going my brother route, well, my brother Devon and them route. She was like, "Yo, let me throw you at Neil," and Neil showed me all the studio. You gonna hear about it. Neil
right,
technically
right.
brought me into the studio part of it. Like he brought me into the music industry. Me and Devon and us, we was trying to just like make. We was going back and forth to some of the big studios, Chung King and all that and stuff like that. But we didn't really know what we was doing until I brought Neil on board. When I brought Neil on board, we moved a little bit more forward. When I was with Divine, we performed in we did the video in Mary J, the same spot where Mary J. Blige got discovered. We did the video in the same spot. In
And
fact,
that's
this
was
is Young
Lamar
Hayes.
there? Was Lamar
Just to
there
let
with
you
y'all?
know, just to let you know, this is King Hayes' father I'm talking about.
I know who you told. I know exactly who
Yeah,
you talking about. Yeah.
yeah. So we did, yeah, out in Yonkers. We went all the
Okay.
way to Yonkers and did the video. And when we did that, Vicky Love saw it and she was like, "I got somebody to link you to," and it was Neal Kelley. And after she linked me
Damn.
to Neal Kelley, I never looked back. Um,
And Neil's from Queens, right?
yeah, Neil's from Queens. Neil's
Yeah,
right
yeah.
behind Bailey. He's from Queens. Um, to one more thing on the headlines. So I was telling you the ESPN thing.
Mm,
Stephen A. just did a whole big segment on his little podcast himself because he said
really.
he's trying to get where McAfee is, yo. Real talk. But anyway,
What? Hold
so
on.
they
So what
fired.
about
They
with your man? Real quick with ESPN. What's up with your man? That was with Shannon Sharp. Was with that nigga. Is he? They. I know they didn't get rid of Skip Bayless.
Nah. So Skip Bayless is about to get somebody else after that Shannon.
Yeah.
That's right. We missed the Shannon Sharp fallout too.
Shannon
Yeah,
Sharp
Shannon
bounce.
Sharp is not no more
Finally.
with he's moving on. He's not gonna go to ESPN, but they're saying that FanDuel where Pat McAfee was at may be giving him a big check. But so Pat McAfee is going over to ESPN and they got rid of over 20 people at ESPN. For real, yo. They gutted it out.
Crazy.
Stephen A. just did a segment said it's deeper than that. They're just getting prepared for lawsuits with Florida and Disney
Wow.
because yeah, they're getting prepared for the whole because Disney is open to the whole progressive transgender stuff and Florida is not because they're trying to pass the don't say gay bill, so they're getting ready for that. And they think that Florida's gonna try to sue them, blah blah blah. But anyway, he said it goes deeper as that. But so far
Mhm.
they got rid of Jalen Rose, they got
Wow.
rid of Max Kellerman and his team, the Keyshawn and
Crazy.
what's his name in the morning.
Keyshawn Johnson and Matt
Yeah, they
Kellerman,
got rid
B.
of them in the morning. They got rid of one of the old heads too. You'll know him if you see him, Ebert or something like that. I forgot his name, but he was back there with he was with Stewart and them back in the day. Like they got rid of him. They got rid of Stan Van Gundy. I don't know why he got chucked from his next to Mark Jackson. They got rid of him.
Well,
You know what
yeah,
I
I don't like
mean?
that.
So
I mean,
it's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah, we
crazy,
got.
yo.
Yeah, we gonna touch more on that. But yeah, so we got your man Neil coming up, and hopefully your man which Lamar might come on later,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. For real.
East
Hey,
East Style
hold
set
on,
us
hold
up.
on. That was supposed to be a surprise, but you just messed that up and shit. Yeah,
Oh,
Lamont wanted to.
oh shit, my bad.
But anyway, hold on.
East Style
Yo,
set us
what up,
up,
East
Jamal.
Styles? I see you. What's up? Hold on, let me see what's up here. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. So I'm about to bring my man Neal Kelley to the floor real quick. Hold on.
What's up,
Yo,
Yeah. Can you hear us?
man? What's happening?
Can you
Mel
hear us?
was good, man.
Chilling, man. Chilling. I'm here in the U.S. on my annual visit from Africa because
Okay.
now I'm a child of Africa. So I've been there for this last time I went. I've been there for now going on 7 years.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, as of
Wow.
August, I'll be going on to 7 years. So
Man.
um yeah, so yeah, me and Mr. Jamar here. We have a long, long, long history
Long
with
history.
Right,
with
right.
uh with the music industry, and
Yeah.
um, I guess wow, where can I start? Um, you know, eh, our community, has always been um, and had huge musical influences. The drummer from Kashif used to
Yeah.
live on my block.
Yeah.
Um, Kevin Harrington, who played with Nona Hendrix and all these other
Hmm.
people, lived across the street from me
Yeah.
and was my age mate. So we used to be running around together, playing basketball and football and stuff. So, and then, historically, we had James Brown that lived in the community. We had,
Talk about where you from though. You from Queens though, right? You
oh,
said
absolutely, Jamaica,
so.
Queens,
He
South
yeah.
Side.
He's
You
talking
know what
about
I'm
Queens,
saying?
everybody. So
That's
that
right. Yeah, let me get that down. Queens, New York. That's right.
Yeah.
hmm
So, so I was involved in the early stages of hip hop. You know, because at that time I was between Jamaica Queens and Far Rockaway Queens. So I was kind of in between both. And around like the mid '70s, like 75,
hmm
76, we started hearing this new music coming up. Now we already seen it. Now there's this myth that hip hop started in the Bronx. I think
Whoa.
it was
Treading on
Hold
thin
developed.
on.
water.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Whites in the Bronx.
Treading
So
on
explain
you
this
treading on thin water,
slowly.
Neil.
Now check it out. Check it out. To get anything away from the Bronx. The
Hmm.
Bronx had a very, very big major input into it.
Hmm.
But I think it was a phenomenon that was happening all across New York City at the same time. We
Right, right,
had big DJs playing, they used to come out, you know the whole scene.
right, right,
They used to
right.
get the electricity illegally from the lamp post, and they used to play music in the football fields, in the parks. And this was before officially hip hop was established.
What was it
You know,
before? Hurt was doing it with parties. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like,
I think everybody was doing it with parties. Even in
hmm
Queens, you had Cypher Sounds. You had
hmm
all these other very big major DJs that was doing it. And the transition was that people would drop in rhymes. Now, here's the key
hmm
thing that we have to understand. If you want to go historically, if you look at the Jubilees, they were in the 1950s and they were dropping rhymes,
right,
right?
right.
So we got to say, well, so when did it officially start? If we're talking about with DJs, right? And we're talking about with DJs. Um, yes, there was DJs. They were playing music, and then we would have some people that would be given an opportunity to drop some lyrics. You remember, because it was
Right, right.
it was all about the DJs at the time, and I think that transition from DJs to lyricists, from when the focus was on the DJ to the focus was on the lyricist, was when the Sugar Hill Gang dropped that first
Right.
commercial song. Because at that point, then that's when now it was no longer you had to go to a party to hear hip hop. You could actually have your party in your house. You understand? And the focus started. That was the beginning of the focus. The focus onto the lyricists. So at that time, a friend of mine named Grandsire Shockdale. Shockdale was on the track for Wild Style. Um, I was working with him and actually was trying to get permission to use "Got to Be Real" for a track. And at that time, I don't know what 15, 16. I didn't had no clue what I was doing, but I was writing people. I was getting my feet wet. Um, from Grand Size Shockdale, there was a bunch of other artists, Grand Tower, and a bunch of other people as I began to gain more and more experience. Now, interesting enough, when I started to really, really connect with major artists, um, was I think, and you know this gentleman, Mr. Barry Yearwood.
Oh God. Oh God.
From the
Go ahead.
Barry,
Keep going, yo.
Barry Yearwood introduced me to Jeff Smith, and Jeff Smith um done a lot of people's artists. If you listen to um Billy Ocean's song Caribbean Queen,
Yeah.
he's the one who's playing the sax on Caribbean Queen, and he's done stuff with a bunch of different major artists. And I mean, it's just too much to even
Right,
say,
right.
but it was a lot. So I started to get involved with that. Even the my boy who did the song Poison on BBD, that was my
Mhm.
boy. We used to be in
Fighter
the
and all
basement,
them, right?
right? We used to be in the basement working on shit in Long Island. Um, and I was very heavily engaged in it. And then of course because Vicky Love, and
From
God
my
bless
block.
Kevin Osborne,
That's
right?
why I was telling you,
Um,
White, from my block. Yeah.
right. Got Kevin Osborne, Steve Keel, um, uh, the whole Jamaica Cats crew,
I
right?
see you, Jess.
Um,
Sorry.
yeah. So they what's the name? Those guys were influential in help honing my production skills. And especially Kevin Osborne, I spent a lot of time with those guys. Bernard Wright, all of those guys.
Now, now,
Um,
now, back up to Kevin, and let him know what was his big influence on his big song.
well, Kevin did a
Kevin,
lot of
Kevin is the voice. He is the voice for Funkin' for Jamaica, yo.
yes, that's right. For Jamaica, because the city's big, man.
Okay.
Looking for Jamaica, right? Um, Kevin Osborne wrote the song that got uh, Tom Brown his deal. He wrote
Mm.
that song in 30 minutes, and that's what got the deal for Tom Brown. Now, Kevin Osborne, if you listen, you're gonna hear, "Yo, Oz, what's up, Oz? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,"
you
you know what
hear
I'm
it.
saying? Yeah, and you have Mike Flight and all those guys in there. And the only disservice was that when they did the video, they got actors to play these guys. Those are not the real people.
Right, right.
Wow, that was the '80s, yo. They used to do shit like that, yo.
80s is wild, though, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's mad wild. So nevertheless, Kevin Osborne was a genius. And then when you talk about Bernard Wright that's like on another magnitude of ridiculous creativity. Dude was capable of all types of shit, man. He was a musically he was a genius. He played for Earth, Wind and Fire. He played for um Yarborough and People. He played for I mean many, 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 many artists, right? And even to the point where like when he was because Bernard was one of those geniuses that was a bit unstable. God bless the dead.
For real. Him and
Um, yeah, but Bernard was on some other shit. They would say the best time to catch Bernard was when he was about to head to the mental hospital. That's when he plays his deepest shit. So I was told the story one time where I forgot which major artist it was that was recording in Manhattan, and they asked him to come and drop some keys on the track,
so
and he was walking around in Manhattan in the rain with white pants on, with no shoes, and the bottom of
Crazy.
his pants was
so let
muddy
me
as
let me let me let me because we can't play music, but let me just say, Funkin' for Jamaica, you know what that is, right? That's what our boy
mhm,
Oz, God bless.
Right,
That's
right.
what our boy Oz. Mariah Carey used it over again
Yeah, yeah.
and
mhm.
all that. But Nard Wright is who do you love? How do you love?
Yeah.
Do you love? You remember that
Yeah,
song, right?
Yes,
that was
yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. We
100%.
can't
amazing.
play the music, so you gotta
Yeah,
hear how
yeah.
I sing it.
But you sound horrible,
Right.
but yeah, keep going
Yeah.
though.
But yeah, it was dope. He was incredible. He's an incredible brother. Very what's name Bernard was massive. Um, they both went to. If I'm correct, I know that Kevin Osborne went to the Juilliard School of Music, and I believe Bernard Wright did also. They were playing music professionally at the age of 12. Bernard Wright, Kevin Osborne, Les, um, what's the name? Steve Teal, Dave Brown, all those cats. They were playing professional jazz at the age of 12. Um,
Wow.
what's the name? At the age of 15, Bernard was touring through Japan. So
Wow.
Damn.
these are these were the guys who influenced me. These were the guys who
Right, right.
said, yo, you can do this. This is they gave me the groundwork. Um, so somewhere along that journey, I was introduced to Vicky Love.
Hmm.
Right? Now, Vicky Love had a hit in the '80s. Am I correct? It was in the
Yeah,
'80s.
hold on. I can
Um,
take it for you. 1 second. I wanna take you on a love
oh,
ride.
oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
You
We
got
No,
to take.
definitely won't get we definitely won't get flagged for more singing and stuff. Trust me.
you know
Hell
what I'm
no,
saying?
you won't get flagged. We won't get
My
flagged. There you go.
my
You
ears
won't
are
get flagged.
bleeding right now. So,
Hmm.
Take a Chance was one of Vicky Love's hits. Vicky Love introduced me to. She said, "Ah, there's this kid around my block. He's trying to get into music. I want to introduce you to." So that's Mr. Ma right here.
That's
Okay.
me.
So,
You've been dealing with them this
from
long,
there,
Neil. I don't know how you did it, yo, because more's all over
I
the
mean,
place here,
we all crazy. Don't get us two together because we
yo.
that's a whole
No,
nother
I
story.
know.
That's
I
a
was there,
whole
more.
nother.
Neil, I was there. I seen,
First of all, number one,
but
before I go even further, I want to give a big, massive shout out to my boy Agri in Uganda, my boy JDM,
uh,
my boy Riggs, uh,
JDM.
Doc Cartel, who's trending in Uganda, Liam Voice, who have millions of views. These are artists that I'm dealing with. Um, and of course, Raven Media, which is us, which is our company. And I just wanted to get that out because I know they're
oh,
listening and I know they're waiting for
shout
that.
out to them, yo. Blessings for them listening too out there in
Big shout
Uganda.
out.
Come on, man.
Big shout
Stop
out. Let's
playing. We
go.
got Uganda listening to us right now, man.
That's right. That's right. So
So, but
from
yeah.
there, then I introduced Mar, right, to my boy Gary and my boy Gerald, who was actually a part of Original Concept with
Yeah.
Dr. Dre from Young TV Raps. So
Yeah.
it's to bring Mar to the recording studio when we would be recording with them.
Yep.
So Mar was getting a lot of experience and influences on song structure, on production, and the sort of legal aspects of it worked.
Yo, so
Um,
hold on, Neil. Hold on. So let me tell you, White. This dude picked me up in a beat up ass Toyota with one part of the floor was missing. I had to hold my feet up near the dashboard
Some
because the part
Flintstone
of the
shit.
floor.
Right.
Some Flintstone shit.
Remember the removable dashboard.
And then
Whoa.
the dashboard was removable, but the floor was too.
Dope. That's some Flintstone shit, nigga.
But that car got me where I needed to go. I love that
So,
car.
but here's
That was
my
a
deal.
huge car.
Neil, so to transition into what you was from Oz and Vicky and them, um, was that the time you started getting into the technical side of engineering to help them out?
I was always into that. I was
Right,
always dealing with that. When I was born, I said that he credits me for taking him out of the Stone Age
right.
because
I remember
because
that.
he wasn't recording in computers. I was one of the first people to start recording using computers. And
Right.
Kev used to come down there and just freak out. He would play a bass line on the keyboard and then he was able to quantize. He was like, "Oh shit, that's the greatest song in the world! Watch out, hey, I tell you." So the vulture's head.
So
So
it's said.
so so with me, because I had all this musical influence and my main focus was always technology and creativity, obviously the natural path for me is music and computers, and that's what I started with my area in production. So with both computers and music and even automating the process. Now this is start to move into the area of digital X because we're coming.
Yeah. So
Um,
so before you even do that, Neil's story, like as far as I'm just going to go back into like your computer age. Yo, dude, he used to walk to Radio Shack before
Hmm.
computers were a thing.
right.
Just to He used to walk miles to Radio Shack, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Just
right.
to get on their
Meanwhile,
computer, a green screen
Hmm.
computer,
yeah,
just to
yeah.
mess with it. Tell me more about that, y'all.
That's crazy.
So um, my first introduction to computers, because I was always involved into technology, but it wasn't necessarily computers. I see a digital watch. I was fascinated by it. I ended up taking the shit apart and breaking it because I wanted to know how it worked. So one time I was in Augusta, Georgia with one of my friends. I was in secondary school. I don't know, maybe seventh grade, I think. And I said, I was walking in this mall by myself. My boy was at his grandmother's house, and I seen this computer on this little podium in Radio Shack, and I was like, it was like, to me, I don't know, it was like the lights and heavens and all of that shit. And I was like, so I slowly, cautiously walk over there, and there's a little nerdy white dude that's there, and dude probably was, I don't know, maybe Stephen Jobs or whoever, one of those guys now. So he was like, I was like typing in stuff. It was like, hello. It was like syntax error. It was like, hello, syntax error. So the white dude was like, do you want to see something? It was like it was like he was a drug dealer. He's like, you want to see something? I'm like, yeah. So he writes this little program, and his name scrolls down the whole screen. So it dawned on me. I looked at him. I said, so wait a minute. If you learn its language, it will do what you ask it. And he looked at me. He was like, that was it. I was sold. I was sold.
Right.
I was sold. So I had to be like 12 years old or something. I was sold. That was it. Computers was it. And that actually jumps back before Kevin Osborne and those guys. And by the time I caught up with Kevin Osborne, I was already heavy into computers. So um, that Radio Shack experience is one of the things that transformed me. And I even remember it was the TRS-80 model, the TRS-80 Model 1. And it had 4K of memory, not even a megabyte. And I had to program the hell out of it. So anyway,
Right.
back to the music. Um, from there, as I started to transition, and becoming more and more and deep into the music scene, I end up uh, tying into Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes came to my house.
Nah,
He was
before that, let's go back to you meeting Father and Pharaoh Monchinem before you even
oh
get to
yeah,
Buster.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, let's go to
okay, okay,
Father. Let's
yeah,
go to
yeah, yeah,
Father
yeah,
MC.
yes. Okay. So I met fucking MC on the train coming home from work. So I see him. He had an SP12 or SP1200 manual, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "So you do production?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, so do I." So I said, "What's your name?" He says, "Father." So that's how I ended up meeting Father. And even though Father
Hmm.
lived in Far Rockaway,
Now
so
you know who Father MC is, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Really, don't play me, man. Don't do
Okay,
that.
let me saying Jodeci was on his first. That's where
yeah,
how
Jodeci was
Puff
on this
discovered
first track.
Jodeci was on his track. What
Exactly.
you do for me, I do
Exactly.
for
Oh
you.
yeah.
What you
Stop
do
singing, please.
for me.
Please stop
Okay,
singing. Stop singing, please.
Oh
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, my
okay,
ears hurt.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, Father MC, he had a platinum song out there. He was large.
Hold on, he
I
was
was
out. Hold on, he was out already when you met him.
No, he was just about to be out. He was already signed. He was signed already.
Was he
And
signed to Uptown or was he signed to a smaller record label?
no, he was signed to Uptown.
Oh,
He
okay.
was signed to Uptown. Yeah, he was signed to Uptown. So um, and just to put things into perspective, Uptown um is Andre Harrell and
Right.
Right.
that whole
Right.
This
team.
is right outside of Andre Harrell being from Jekyll and Hyde and trying to
Right,
because Father MC was one of his first artists on Uptown.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Was it? But how did they do that? I never understood the collaboration between Jodeci and Andre and Father
So
MC.
what happened was is, and I know this from my cousin Class, God bless, his partner Rick grew up with Jodeci. So what happened was Puffy was working for Andre Harrell as an intern
Right.
and brought Jodeci out from South Carolina to Andre Harrell, and that's how Andre Harrell put Jodeci on Father MC because Father MC was one of his first artists. So yeah.
So, what happened? I worked with Father. We worked on a lot of different tracks. I did some engineering for him. But Father was kind of crazy, man. So I had to leave him alone or something. But that was my dude though. But to
Right.
me, it wasn't moving as fast as I wanted. Sometimes Father would make promises that he couldn't really deliver on, so I had to kind of leave him on that. Um, and then it's at that time I had a bunch of different artists I was working with and a whole bunch of different things. But at the same time, I was getting frustrated with being in New York City.
Well, before you got frustrated, where did Pharaoh at March and all them fit in this with you transitioning
So
from Father?
okay, so my boy Corey, right? I met Father first before I met Organized Confusion. At that time, they were STPs, E2 Positive
STP,
MC.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, and Pharaoh Monch and Prince Poetry. So, um, uh, my boy Corey, actually, there was the record company, and I think it was Uptown, wanted to sign.
Diamond Ice said salute, Big Neil. What
Say
up,
again?
Diamond
Diamond Ice?
Ice
Diamond Ice.
Oh, oh, no doubt. What's up? What's up?
and Big and Black Mac. That's part of our Dat Feeling family. Big Black
Black
Mac.
Mac.
What's
Jess
going on? He
always
said to
showing
tell you
love.
what's up
Yo,
too,
what up,
Neil.
Jess? Shout out to
What's
Ife
up,
on the new
Jennifer?
ladies. Jess is always doing it.
And Jess is our partner, yo. Jess is one of our biggest partners to the Boroughbreds game. But to get back to what you were saying, so you're saying so hold
So,
on. So we're saying on
so wait,
Boroughbred
so wait.
that Uptown wanted to sign Farrell with him?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's correct because uh, Prince Poetry and those guys told me that it was between Father and them, and they chose Father. And I think that's when he
Wow.
was on Uptown. So they chose Father. So that's why the Poetry, they were all feeling all bad. And we had just started a small record label called Solid Sound Records. And Rory, one of the brothers that live on my block, he went to art and design high school, and he knew Paramount and Prince Poetry, and brought them to the house. So
Mm.
after hearing them and we having a talk, we signed them to a contract. But I made a promise to them that if nothing works out, because we had no distribution or anything, we're coming from the ground level. If nothing works out, I release them and let them go on to whatever they need to do. Because I don't believe in holding up an artist. You understand? So,
That was early stages, Neil. If you would have been in the game, you'd been a cutthroat brother. But yeah, keep going though.
oh yeah, that was the early stages. So I signed him, and we released two songs. One was called Alliteration, and the other one was called Memories of Love. And Memories of Love was kind of a feel like the LL Cool J
Yeah,
that
it was dope. I
cartoon.
remember that,
Yeah,
yo. That's when I met
yeah.
you. Yeah, that was dope.
We did Memories of Love, and um again, it got to the point where we started reaching roadblocks with them. We couldn't do anything with them. We didn't have any money. We didn't have anything. So they came to me one night, and said, "Yo, we want to be released so that we have this possible deal." I said, "Sure, I promised you guys that from the beginning, and it doesn't make sense me holding you up. So I released them. That's why we remain friends today. You understand?"
Right.
So, um, me and Kevin Osborne was very much involved in the development of Farrell Monch and Prince Poetry in the early stages. Um, Not taking anything from them, they're very talented artists, but we helped in that development process. And And they know that, they understand that as well, because they always mention us and said, "Yo, Neil was with us in the very beginnings of Organized Confusion."
So just to let you know, White, what you saw me bring to Atlanta with like with you and your group, like with what I brought to the
With
studio, that was
Cypher magazines though.
no,
That's what.
even with the group, I the breathing techniques and all that. I
Oh,
get
you
that
going from
from
there?
Neil. And
Okay,
Neil, and a lot of people don't understand because Pharoah Monch is known as one of the best MCs, like backpack
man. You
or
talking
underground MCs.
real quick, Mo? We don't hold your thought. We talking 50 of hip hop, so we got Neil Kelley right now and breaking down some shit. Pharrell Monch and him in the studio with all these people. That this is why hip hop is what it is right now. All
And
right, keep
so
going,
Neil
Mo.
was teaching them like breathing. Remember, I was in the studio. Big shout out to
Mhm.
Chapo and I Top. You remember when I was in the studio with Chapo and said, "Yo, you need to get your breathing technique together and all." That's from
Definitely.
Neil, and that's what Neil was telling me he had to do with Pharoah Monch and them. And when
Yeah,
Pharoah Monch and them came out, it was like, "Yo, who are these kids?" But get back to you, Neil, on where you set place Pharaoh on them, yo.
yeah. So we did a lot with them, man. We taught them basically, and I wouldn't say taught them. I think they already knew, but we
Right.
gave them some context about some song structure. Uh, we gave them context about breathing techniques. We and we also gave them that thing about being the best at what you do. They already knew it, but I
Yeah,
think we drove it home. We drove that point home because there's many times we have them in
agreed.
the studio telling them, do it over, do it over, do it over until we get it right.
Wow.
And and the whole idea is not to accept anything that was less. To
Yeah.
always present yourself um as the best, and always always be the best. So I think they already knew that because they were talented artists, but that development process that we went through with them kind of helped them uh it gave them some. I want to say, I don't want to say we're responsible for their success because that's really overstepping it. But I just think that because that's like taking away their glory. But I
But
think
it's
that
not the same. But
I would like to say we contributed
a
something
lot.
to that.
Not to cut you off because it's like what Maul was doing for me and Tiny, even though we never made it because Maul he dropped out a long after a while. But yo, it's kind of like grooming them and like it's you got to season them. They got the talent, but they missing a lot of other stuff. And that's what you did. You brought so much other stuff and put that seasoning on them, and that was it. That's what they need. That's what a
Yeah,
lot of people need.
that's like me. I tell you, like I won't sit there and I would never sit there and say what I contribute to Bob before he did it. But
Oh
I was
yeah,
in the studio, and telling him, "Yo, pay attention more to your guitar than you pay
right, right,
attention to mixtapes." And White was there
right.
when I told him
The
that.
extra shit. The extra
You know what I
shit.
mean?
You
It's
know
the
that.
little shit.
Yeah, nah, it
You
ain't
know what I
little, nigga.
mean?
It's the shit that when he did it, now he became super famous. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
it ain't
yeah.
I
little,
But
nigga.
mean,
That's
but
what I'm
and
saying. I'm
that's
not
what
don't downplay what Neil saying. What you saying? No,
nah, you can't
no.
downplay
You
like
pretty
what
much
Neil
help
did for
people,
Pharaoh.
yo.
No, you
Yeah,
can't.
nah.
so then from there, you know, I was ready to make the transition to Atlanta because following them, they
Well,
moved
before
on.
hold on, I don't mean to keep
Let's see,
stopping you on your
wait. I'm jumping ahead. So let me
yes.
tell you what we did. What at that point then, right? I went to Florida,
There we
right?
go.
I went to Florida, and I hooked up with my boy Diggy, Ernest E Styles,
Ernest, big
and
Ernest, salute my nigga Ernest,
also
yo.
to TNT, the Nasty Tone.
Big
You know what I'm
Tom in
saying?
the building.
We developed a little crew down there, and also Tracy Williams, right?
Big Trey in the building. Trey Williams,
So
I got you.
Tra- Tracy Williams was on one of Nas's songs, one of the Grammy songs that Hip Hop is Dead. He sung on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So on that album. So I discovered Trey Williams in Florida with the help of my boy Crazy Little Mike, and and we and we took him to New York, and Trey Williams was sleeping in the basement with us, my grandmother's house,
Damn.
and we what's the name, and I took Trey Williams to Luther Vandross's producer and Freddie
Yeah.
Word.
Jackson's producer.
Southside's in
Um,
the building. I see you, East Styles.
South Side. That's what we
so
talking about right now.
and TNT, the Nasty Tone,
Yeah.
talented artists. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So what did you do? What when you got to Florida? I gotta hear it in time because I'm gonna stop you in a second because I got a story I gotta tell of what happened to me in New York, a whole EPMD story while you was in Florida trying to conduct it with me. But what happened in
And that
Florida?
real quick, more that beat is still being sampled, but yeah,
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I want Neal to be more detailed of when he traveled through Florida, finding somebody like Trey Williams. You know what I mean? What did y'all do? Showcases? Because me and you were in deep contact back then.
Yeah, we did. I put him in. Well, he did a talent show, and he blew the talent show up. And but wait, before we get all into that, we need to get into TNT Nasty Tone because that was
Nasty Tone. Definitely.
He led to Trey Williams.
Okay.
So East Styles, Ernest. I met Ernest first, and then and Ernest was his cousin Wendell brought Ernest over to my house. I was living in Port Orange, and we talked for a while. Then they drove off, and Wendell knocked down my damn mailbox. One of those stands on post.
Right.
Down my damn mailbox. But he was coming by a lot. So East Styles was telling Tone, yo, I noticed producing from New York. So, at that time there was a lot of people that said they did production. Yeah, a lot of people said they did production, but they never did. They were just, they wanted to be. So we finally booked the second, and we had this one brother. He was supposed to be, writing the music, and I went the day before to listen to the music, and it was horrible. So now I says, okay, so now I have to go to sample. So I went to, we went with Ernest to his boy's house. I forget the guy's name. It was a real cool white dude, and he had the same keyboard that was in the studio that we used.
Right.
So I prepared the sample. I didn't have them truncated first, and it was the young East Styles. You know the name of it if you listen to it. I forgot the name of it, but it was a dope loop. So no, actually I forgot the name of that. I think it was anyway. We brought the samples to the studio, and there was Wong Cook. She was there. She had interest in managing Cone, but I wouldn't let her. And she started. I started putting together the music, and they're just there sitting back and they're just listening. And you know how when you're sampling, when you're truncating, and then you're layering, and then everything begins to fall into place, and they lock, and then you're hearing all of the music, and then you when they started hearing everything come together. That's when people started getting excited. Tone was like, "Thank you, man. Thank you, man." Then I said, "Thank you, man." 1,000 times. And these sounds was funny. Yeah, that was that crazy ass song.
Such a brother.
Yeah,
back
that's yeah, that's
Vern. What up, Vern?
I can't hear you, man, because I have headphones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm screaming in your ear. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Stone. The name of the song was Stone Roses, Fool's Gold.
So this is Ernest? Is this Ernest up here? Is East Styles?
Yes, that's Ernest.
Hey, Ernest. Hey, hi, Ernest.
So anyway, so we did this, and we were ahead of the game.
Right.
So we were doing our thing. Yeah. But I didn't think she wanted it, so I ate it.
Yeah, but this shit crazy right now. We got Neal Kelley in the building, y'all.
We got Neal Kelley in the building.
Hip hop. If anybody know, Neal, we had Ralph McDaniels on not too long ago, and that shit was dope as hell. So
what it is? So we did um, we were in the studio, and what I realized quickly is that I'm on the phone. I'm talking somewhere, Nana.
Love it.
I'm on the phone. I'm talking.
Nana.
Neal Kelley, y'all. Yo.
Yes,
Hey.
yes, that's my girl right there. No, that's yo. Big shout outs to Nana. How old is yo? Tell them how old Nana is, yo.
He's 100.
What?
Wow.
She's 100 years old,
Blessings.
yo.
Blessings, B. Super
That's
blessings,
crazy.
yo.
She's still coming out. Like if you don't get
Still
your ass
coming
out
out,
the
B.
basement,
Dope as fuck, yo. That's amazing.
that's Nana.
I'm
Oh
chicken
my
rolls.
god, man, that almost made me cry, bro. Yo, that's so dope. That is Nana, yo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Word.
man.
that is hilarious.
Super blessings, yo.
You
I mean, it's
know, after
blessings,
this
though.
podcast, I got mad jokes after this podcast, yo. I got mad
No,
jokes.
you do. No, so let me finish. Like, okay, so we realized that being in being in Daytona introduced some limitations.
Right.
You understand? So we had to transition. So I took Daryl, and there was another brother's name. Forgot his name. It's
But
Thomas, I think.
here's my question though,
And
Neil. Hold on.
uh,
Where did you meet Trey Williams? Where did you meet Trey at?
now Mike introduced me to Trey Williams, Little Mike. You know, so he introduced me to Trey. And Trey, at the first time I met him, he was drunk and he couldn't sing. And I
Right.
understood that. So I said, let me come back the next day. And then the next day I heard him, powerful vocalist, very powerful. So um so then we put him in the talent show, and they were actually they were playing with us. They put us at the very end, and we tore it up. The end, we tore it up, and of course we killed it. So
Okay.
the very next step was, that's like proving it's like a concept. It's the
Right.
next step is to take him to New York. So I called uh Mr. Walker, right? Uh, Luther Vandross's uh producer.
God
Crazy,
bless.
yeah.
And,
My
Yeah.
yep,
God. God bless.
That's crazy.
and told him that we're coming, and I have a powerful record. So I let him hear it, and that's when we started getting involved in production for Trey Williams. Yeah. And Thomas and Daryl, they went back to Daytona because they were just a little a little crazy,
Now,
but they went back to Daytona, and it was just Trey.
so
So
let me stop you. Let me stop you there. Okay, so I'm gonna go into I'm trying to not make it too long. I'm gonna go into my small story while you was in Daytona. So,
Mhm.
mind you, White, he goes
Mhm.
to Daytona, and this is after the time that he just showed me. First thing, everybody's talking about the SP, but Neil showed me the what's the name? 900. The
It's 950.
950. Neil showed,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
Todd
900,
1000 and the
950.
Kai's 950.
The
Yeah.
Kai 950, a sampler, right? So before Neil went to Florida, he showed me a basic production mode on what I can do to make beats while he was gone. He basically showed me that because he had the equipment in his basement, and he
Right,
had it
right.
from this drug. He had it from this drug dealer, and then we ended up losing it because the drug dealer got killed, and the people who killed him
God.
came and pick up the equipment. But anyway, that's another
God.
story. But anyway, but basically, he showed me something real quick before he left. So boom, I'm in production mode, right? So I had to start going to the same building where Jam Master Jay got killed. I had to start going to the music building down in Park Jamaica Avenue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the engineer was like really bugging that I knew the S950. Now, mind you, this is for everybody with their SP 1200s and all the pads
Yeah,
and shit like
yeah.
that. This is before all that. This was one of the first components that can actually sample something and loop it and keep it a certain way. And Neil introduced that to me. So that was before SP got popular.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I went to this dude's studio, he was bugging that I knew a 950. Like he was like, how the hell we just got this thing? How do you know a 950? But anyway, I started making beats. God bless my boy Saki. There's a lot of God bless me doing. But God bless
Yeah.
my boy Saki used to come down with me to the studio and I started making beats. But I was calling Neal saying, hey, I used to call Neal on Daytona and those stories he just told you. He used to keep me up with everything. He used to be like, cool, cool. So the engineer, one beat that I made that I played for everybody, dude wanted it. And I called Neal. I called Neal one time. I was like, yo, this dude's bugging me about this beat. He was like, hold on to it. Wait till I get to New York. It was something real quick. Like, I'll come to New York and do it. So dude was like, I'll give you 500 for it. So then I
Wow.
was like, nah. So I told Neal was like, hell no. He's like, no, do not give him no. So then dude came back and was like, I'll give you 1,500. Now mind you, White, I'm
No, it's early
15,
stages.
I'm 15 years old on
That's like
Jamaica
being rich back in the
Avenue.
day too. That's like being rich
On
back in the day.
Jamaica Avenue, bro. You know what I mean? Like with dude offering me 1,500. What, Neal? This was like the late 80s, the
Yeah.
early
I,
90s.
no, it was the early '90s because I was
It
I
was the
was
early 90s. And so
yeah.
I'm young. I'm young, bro. See? I called Neal. Neal told me to turn down the 1,500, yo.
Damn.
I was just like, nah. I was like, okay. So I went to dude. I was like, nah, my boy's coming back from Florida. He'll talk to you when he get here. Dude was like, he came back again. It was like 2,500. I didn't call Neal after that. I was like, I'm taking that 2,500 and I'm running. But as Neal told me, he said, be easy. I took the 2,500 and it was a gift and a curse. The gift was 2,500 at
No,
15
it was a
years
curse,
old.
nigga. It was a curse.
It was it wasn't a curse
That
at
money.
15 years old. At not at 15 years old
I mean,
on Jamaica
it
Avenue.
helped real minor to what it became.
Not at 15 years old on Jamaica Avenue. It wasn't a curse.
I get it,
Because
yo.
I went and spent that, and I couldn't, and at this time I couldn't tell my family because they would think I'm selling drugs, and I wasn't the drug dealer of the family. So they would have like, nah, where you getting 2,500 from? You know what I mean?
Back
So
in
I
them days,
couldn't.
I'd had a car, jewelry. Everybody, nigga, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah,
Nah, I couldn't do that. Yo, you remember Biggie's movie where he had to keep all his stuff on the roof?
yeah, on the
And
roof, yeah,
that's
yeah.
basically what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Oh,
From having that amount of money. So anyway, I took the money, but again, now the curse part of it was I played a sample, whatever, whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't know who I sold it to. I just gave it to this engineer. All of a sudden, the beat comes. I'm playing it now, mind you. I'm playing it at Ajax Park. I'm playing it at Baisley. Everybody, because I play my beats when I leave the studio.
right.
So everybody's like, oh, all of a sudden, someone hits me up and goes, yo, did you hear EPMD new album? That just the second album
EPMD,
that came out.
son.
And I was
EPMD.
like, oh, word. I hit Zoom because that was my sample. Zoom. Now, big shout out to Rich Franchise, because Ra will tell you the
Mm-hmm.
story by hand too, because I was in Ra's room making the sample with the albums. Because Neal
Mm-hmm.
taught me how to take the albums and make a sample. You know what I mean? So with Ra, as
Crazy.
you know, he had DJ equipment at like 15 years old,
Right.
and we were in his room, and that's where I made the sample at, and I took it to the studio, and me and Ra was at the studio. So all of a sudden I'm making the music, doom, do 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 do
Mm-hmm.
do 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 do. Now, mind you,
Wait.
every,
Guess who's calling me?
who I can't see. Ah, man, I can't see it, Neal.
Mike Jackson.
Oh, he's
Oh,
trying to get a link. He just hit me up too.
send
He
him the
just hit
link,
me up
B.
too. Mike
The
Jackson was
link.
trying to get on. He's trying to get a link.
Send him the
Send him the
link.
link. Oh
Yeah,
no,
hold
you
on. I'm
bugging.
about to send him. I'm about to send him the link.
This
Hold on
story
one
crazy
second.
though, man. That beat right there, like,
Come on.
Hold on. I'm about to send him the link. Yo, don't go anywhere. I'm about to send him the link. He just hit me up.
here you go, man.
Hold on.
Right.
Don't go anywhere. Hold on.
Well, what's the name? Jamal sending you the link now. All right, you
Prime,
finish
what's
the
Brother,
way.
look
good,
Yeah.
on his
yo?
messenger.
Prime, you see
All
what
right.
we doing, yo?
All right, so real quick, I'm gonna try to wrap the story up real quick. So basically, the doom. So somebody calls me and goes, "Yo, did you hear EPMD new album, their second album?" And I was like, "Oh shoot, that's that's the beat." But how I knew it was my beat because, like Neil showed me, we took little pieces of samples, and you can hear what's your beat. You know what I mean? You can hear like
Right,
I
right.
put that horn
What
there.
did they add? What did they add to it though?
They didn't add anything to it.
Whoa.
They took the whole beat. And how I knew it
They're just,
because I
they're
knew the
just
like
jackets.
Neil was telling you earlier about truncation, like how he trunk, like he. I knew how I let that sample drop. You know what I mean? So you're listening like that's the way I tightened that sample, and I put that horn right there. That horn comes from another album. It came from that horn came from Neil's house. It came from Grant Green, from his grandmother who you just seen. It came from Grant Green's album. That's how I knew it was my beat. Because if they just use, you can go up to Jamaica Avenue and buy
Hold on,
break
Mo.
beats.
You're talking mad fast, but you still haven't told people what the song is.
Hold on, I didn't get there yet.
Okay.
You could tell,
I
like you
still
could
got
go
a
to
little bit
Jamaica
more about the
Avenue.
journey.
You could go to Jamaica Avenue and grab break beats and make a beat. Don't get that
Mm.
twisted. Anybody can do it. But when you start hearing little things like a sample or a snare that you use from another record that like Neil showed me, I was like, so I knew the detail of the beat. Well, anyway, so it's playing and I'm happy. Now, mind you, I'm happy. I'm 15 years old. I still didn't spin up the whole 2,500, so I'm happy. I'm like, cool. I thought I was gonna blow up for some reason. And I'm just listening. I'm like, so I'm like, oh, then I'm listening to the album because you know, back in the days, the album comes out before the video. You know what I mean? So I'm listening and I'm like, oh shit, slow down, baby. Don't slow down, baby. It's Rampage. So I'm
Right, right.
listening and I'm like, oh shit, that's my beat. The killer wasn't, then LL was on the beat. Now,
You feel what
mind
I'm
you, little
saying?
kids,
Come on, man.
for LL to be on the beat at and that time was like Drake
That was one of the
dropping on
biggest
your
shits.
beat.
Like that was one of the biggest songs back then, son.
Yeah,
You
yo,
playing?
but no, but white. I mean, don't get it twisted. EPMD was big. EPMD was huge, and to
No,
hear
but
my
that
beat with
song was huge.
EPMD,
That song was huge at the
I was
time.
good. But to have LL appear on it was a
Oh,
whole nother situation, bro. That was a whole
yo,
nother situation.
I don't want to cut your sword, but I still got a little bit more to explain.
I know. I'm gonna get out the story real quick. I'm gonna get out because this story, honestly, Mike is a little late. Mike MJ's in the building. MJ's a little late, but MJ, yo, Mike, you missing it. But I'm telling the whole EPMD story right now.
Oh man, you made
Yeah,
a
I'm
tutorial
telling.
out of
So,
this.
yo, so when I grabbed the beat, and I knew it was EPMD, I was good. But when I heard LL on it,
You lost your
I was
mind.
like, oh my God. I was like, oh, I'm winning now. Mind you, the engineer, he's gone. He left. When I went back to the music building, he was gone. That was it. He was gone. No more engineer. Never saw him. Name was Calvin. Never saw him for the rest of the day of my life. So when the song came, but then by then nobody was reading Billboard. This is about the time where nobody's reading Billboard. I used to have to go to the library to read Billboard. You know what I mean? I used to have to go to the library to read Billboard. Went to the Billboard, the song went gold. When the
No,
song went gold, and then, mind you, Neil was like kazoo over my head around the time. Like I told you, wait till I get back from Florida to handle this beat.
but yo, let me continue, man. You like
All
all
right.
this
All right, but
deep
at the end,
thing.
okay, but all right, I'm about to wrap it up real quick. At the end of the day, it went from EPMD being gold to freaking to just want to kill a man, freaking Cypress Hills going
Right.
triple platinum at the
Feel
same
me?
time. All right,
You feel?
there you
Yo,
go,
dude,
Neil.
you understand? Go ahead, now.
Go ahead.
Thank you,
But
thank you.
back from New York, Florida to New York, yo.
we came back to New York, right? And what's the name? Um, Trey Williams gets signed. He signed to, you know, I forget dude's name. You know, anything is you know what I'm talking about. The guy who started managing Trey.
Oh,
No
what was his
problem,
name?
lady. What was his name? It was what's the name's cousin?
Big shout out to Rod, yo, his uncle.
Yes.
Oh,
His uncle.
money,
No
no object.
problem.
Money, no
Exactly.
object, dude, from Harlem. Yeah, I know
Right.
you talking about. Big
Anyway,
shout out to my man, Big Rock, yo.
right. So what we did was, when he did that, I was like, okay, I need to make this transition. Now this is around the time we were there. We were both sitting around saying, "Oh, there's nothing to do now," because you know New York was kind of going into that quiet period with hip hop. You understand? Um, so I said, "Yo, I'm going to Atlanta." And I remember Ma was like, "Yo, can I come?" I'm like, "Yeah, I
Word.
don't care." And that's when we transitioned. Um, See, Mark went a week before I did,
Yeah.
and then I followed the week after.
Well,
And
Dwight knows because Janae is his cousin. So Janae was already out here. So I was already able to
But y'all
shoot
moved
out
to
here,
the
and
hood.
my
Y'all
man
moved to the
Carlos
hood, the
shot me
hood, the
out here.
hood in Atlanta, yo. Don't
Yeah,
bypass the hood.
hey, but that's
yeah.
the funny thing. Yo, we thought the hood was dope. When we got there, we were like, wow.
Yo, we was in heaven, bro. We
We
was in
was like, this
heaven.
is so
New York
nice.
should have built. They came to the hood in Atlanta, the slums. I'm talking about. What was it? Name the hood in Atlanta y'all came to, so people can understand.
So when
Oh,
I
right.
moved out, so Neil, but
What
you
was the
came out here
county?
first with Ramel, didn't you?
You was a week early. You was with you was with the crazies over there at
With
College Park.
Kiwi, with big shout out
College
to
Yes,
Kiwi
with
Park.
and
Kiwi,
Sadat.
exactly.
I was in
Exactly.
College Park, right off of Washington Road, right around the corner from Club Candlewood, where Goody Mob and all of them didn't get signed
Whoa.
yet. They all were
And
hanging in Club
I
Candlewood.
was in what the hell was the name of that damn apartment that we moved into?
Right over where Young Thug is from, right over off of Cleveland
Right.
Avenue and
Cleveland Avenue.
yeah.
Cleveland
Exactly.
fucking Avenue. These niggas moved to the hood. The worst part in Atlanta, and they
It
went there
wasn't the
loving it.
hood to us though.
New York, B. I love New York. They moved out there and it's like, this is great.
But this was
Yeah.
beautiful, yo, white. So I moved to College Park, and I'm like, these dudes got a townhouse with a
What?
bathroom in the bedroom for $525 a month. I'm like, oh, you
You
guys are selling some type of drugs that I don't know
know?
about. There's no way. For real.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Neil.
So I get out there. It took us about a year or so to get established. You know what I'm saying? Because when I got there, Jamar took me around because Jamar had already scoped the place out a week before.
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, this is how you get here. This is how you get there." So, and it at that particular time, I was kind of transitioning out of the music industry because I didn't see, and actually, I can't say that yet because I approached it again, but from a different angle. Um, no, I don't know what happened to Mar. He kind of disappeared on us.
Yeah,
Um,
he be bad. He probably went to the bathroom. So.
oh, okay. So, I had transitioned. I was transitioning out of the production game because I realized that you're trying to get through a door with 15 million other people. So I said that the strategy that I'm going to go is I'm going to leverage the technology side and offer services that the music industry needs, that no one, that very few people could deliver. Now, this was when websites first started, enhanced CDs first started. So me, Ma, and um, a few other people, but mainly me and Ma, and my boy Ishmael, who is uh, Joe, the singer's road manager, we formed
Yeah.
Digital X. And Digital X, we went we went 2 years with absolutely no money. We went 2 years running Digital X with nothing. But around the time of the 2 years, it started popping. We was doing we did um we was doing an enhanced CD for Goody Mob. We was going to do a enhanced
Mm-hmm.
CD for Outkast. We did the Face Records website. Um, we did um we also did um uh Ice Cube. We were supposed to do Ice Cube's enhanced CD.
Mm-hmm.
So money started to pour in, and that was we was making a lot of noise. And we did Cypher
Yeah.
magazine, the first digital magazine on a CD. And then the .com bomb dropped, and that's when the economy
Yeah.
like all the economy crashed and all these tech projects. I was talking about Digital X and
So yeah,
how
but you gotta fall back to like how me and you actually like
so
not
okay,
you gotta you
let me
gotta you gotta you gotta give them the birth of it, Neil. Like
okay, all right.
how
So let me
because you gotta understand before this technology came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before we opened up that laptop, Neil already saw the vision of buying this component that shows the video on a computer. Now, mind you, we told you about the Radio Shack thing with him.
Right.
So he was already ahead of the time. So me and Neil finally, we moved. Now, mind you, we moved from the hood. This is when Janae was like, y'all have fun in the hood. Y'all moving north. And then me and Neil was like, nah, all the black people out here, man, we good. Then we moved to Dunwoody and was like, oh, we're not going back to the black neighborhood.
Never.
We
Never.
good. It's like,
This is before Dunwoody was hood. Yeah.
look. Let me. So
but
here's what happened. We moved to Dunwoody. Wasn't it Dunwoody? It was
it was
Springs.
Dunwoody.
It wasn't
Sandy
Dunwoody.
Springs.
Yeah,
Sandy
because you know
Springs.
why I was done with it? Because you bought
Why?
the component and we got two of them because UPS left a $1,500 component on our
Remember we was in Stone Mountain with Pee Wee and them, and then we got the apartment on Sandy Springs on Roswell Road.
right,
Yeah.
right,
That
right.
wasn't Dunwoody.
Well,
Right.
Dunwoody, Sandy Springs, you know out here. It's pretty
Okay.
much next door. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So what happened was I figured out how to encode that little component was actually a CD burner at the time. Nobody had no one.
CD burner.
So
And this is early stages.
the early stages. So I figured out how to encode video onto the CD, Then how to put video on a CD as well as actual
Thank
audio
you.
tracks. So if you put it in a CD player, it'll play like a regular CD. If you put it in a computer, you will see audio. I mean, you see video, you see information, all that stuff. So I had created probably one of the first enhanced CDs,
You
not in
did.
the country. You know, if it was in the country.
Down, bro. You did,
Yeah.
Joe. Hey, yo, White. You there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Guess who was on? Guess who was on our first video CD-ROM? But when Neil was testing this, before video was on fucking computer, guess who was on our first one?
Who?
You probably wouldn't even guess. Your cousin. Guess.
Man?
Stone.
Get the fuck. Oh man.
It was Donnie. You remember? You probably don't remember, Neil, but Donnie came and visited us, Janae's cousin, and we was like, stand still. And we recorded him, and then we put in the video, and me and you were like, yo, he's on the computer.
Remember what was that dude's name? He had a kind of like a semi-hit track out. And he seen me walking around. In Perimeter Mall, Lenox Mall. The dude was like, "Yo, he's a gray." Remember that dude?
YZ. It was
Yes,
a rapper
YZ.
YZ. It was a rapper YZ.
Yes.
And you know what? You don't forget, you was with Shaka Zulu's cousin, Big O.
That's right. That's right.
You was big shout out to Shaka Zulu, Ludacris and them. You was out there with Big O. You was with Shaka's cousin.
Yep.
You
Because he
sure
was
was.
like, because he was like, yo, he's a gray man. He's an alien.
Yeah, everybody was calling. Everybody got brought to the house. White was calling this nigga Neil an alien because it was crazy. Because so once we saw Donnie on this once we saw Donnie on this video, me and Neil was trying to think of what type of concepts we were going to do from burning CDs. We were burning. You know how people burn CDs or mixtapes or burn CDs. We were burn.
Yeah.
This is before music and everything was burned. We paid Neil, I should say more so, because he was putting the bulk of the money towards, but it was a 4-speed burner for $1,500.
That's right.
A 4-speed
Right.
burner, and
Hey,
And this is
UPS,
back in the day. You can't
hey,
like a
hey,
burner's
UPS,
like fucking
mind you,
remember that?
right?
golden. Yeah.
Remember
UPS
that?
was dumb
Remember?
enough. UPS
I'm
was
about to
dumb
say
enough
that.
to leave it on our patio. And Neil came outside from work. He was like, "Yo, did they just leave a 1,500 burner on the patio?" So Neil takes the burner inside the house, calls UPS, and be like, "Hey, I don't see my package." And they were like, "It says delivered." He's like, "Yo, that's $1,500. You guys are playing. Y'all better have my package." They bought Neil another $1,500 burner.
Whoa. Yo, that's
So we
crazy,
had two
yo.
of them, yo.
Two of them. And
That
then
was
what
yo,
we would
you.
do, no, and this was before they had a no return policy on CDs. We
Yo,
would buy programs and software. We would copy them. Then we would bring it back.
you know how much was the CDs we were buying to burn at that time? It was like $4, wasn't it? It was a lot.
It was like $4. But hell, man, some of them programs was like $40 and $50. We just simply whoop, copy,
Yeah,
write down the serial number, bring it back to them.
it was crazy, white. Like this is
That's
before it was 4-speed burners,
yo,
bro.
dude. I
Four
know, yo.
speed.
That's the even the crazier part. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is happening, and y'all got that double
This
the
is
price. This is
95. This
before.
is 95,
Yeah,
96, yo.
That's
that's
crazy.
95.
And
See,
they
Early
was
95.
delivering it on the porch,
Early
and
'95.
they ain't got the technology like they had now. Even now, they deliver. Somebody still would take this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like,
So here's the thing. So I remember telling Jamal we need an army of people to launch Cypress. So that's when we got Big O. And Jamal, he was head of field operations. So Jamal would go out and he would go to the universities and colleges and he would leave these flyers.
Flyers, yeah, these handwritten
And
flyers. Yep.
that's how we got Mike Jackson, who was just on
We
it.
went to CMU. We went to Clark and Morehouse and left a bunch of flyers. Yo.
Exactly. And by the way, Mike Jackson, he was actually the vice president for Sony
mm,
ATG. The same Mike
shout
Jackson.
out to Mike Jackson, yo.
Yes, sir. So he was we called Mike Jackson. We called what's dude's name? What's dude's name? Um what was the crew's name for your field operations?
Oh, Zach.
Zach, yes. And I remember what's the brother from Zimbabwe, the big fat brother?
What was his name? It was O something. Yeah, I know you're
And
talking
then
about.
Shaka get down with y'all too.
Shaka was in the crew. Shaka
Who was
was
in
in
the
the crew. India
Yep.
Irie and Shaka
And the
was in the
Irene
crew.
He was in the crew.
Shaka's Ludacris manager. Mike Jack is like he's in the industry forever. Everybody know
CeeLo,
Mike Jack.
he's a big part of CeeLo's career. Mike
Big
Jackson,
part
yeah.
of CeeLo career. Mike Jack is like the man. He came on
Yeah,
real quick and he bounced. But that's they homie, you know what I'm saying? So
right. So we was all in there, and it was I forgot that brother's name because I remember he was scrawled the front of your bed, and you could see the crack of his ass, and he was on the phone, and I looked at
Yeah.
him,
shit.
and I looked at you, and you started laughing.
Yo, we had so when I went and put the flyer up at the colleges, I ended up, like he said, I ended up with like 100 people trying to have me and Neil have to have separate meetings at our apartment to recirculate our meetings because what happened is once we took one person out of those people from college to our crib and they looked at the computer that Neil set up, there was a human on the computer. Again, everybody, y'all don't understand. Y'all see that right now.
Let's put this in perspective. it was a CD. No one has done that before. You
No
put a
one.
CD in, and you would see actual video of a person. And then you take that same CD and you put it in a CD player and you hear music. That
That
blew
was
people's minds.
undone.
Oh
That was
yeah, y'all
not
had the
Yeah,
done.
technology before it happened, and that was the ill part.
Exactly.
No,
right.
you should have been Bill Gates right now, Neil, because you was doing shit. I told him
You
when I
see,
first met, I was like, this nigga's a genius, man. Like one of the first. Yo, but yeah, keep going though. Yo, the shit y'all was doing was like
If I
before his
tell you what I'm
time.
doing in Africa right now, because even my boys in Africa, they're saying, "Yo, you're a genius."
Yeah, yeah.
So, so we actually laid the groundwork for that because Marwood, like at first, at first, Replace Records, they didn't know us, they didn't want to do anything with us, and then Left Eye. Funny story behind that. I met Left Eye through Ish,
Mm,
and Ish was our vice president. And now
yeah,
Ish, like
yeah.
I said, is Joe's road manager. All these people that we were centered around is now very deep in the industry.
now,
So
mind you, Neil, you hold on. So Ish got that part with Left Eye, which secured us. But at the same time, Mike kind of got us through the door
that's what
at
I was going to
LaFace
get to. That's
because
right.
he was
I gotta
cool
get.
with
Wasn't y'all
he was
fucking with
cool with
organized
KP and
noise
them.
at one point? Like Outcast and them? Like
Yes,
I'm not.
that's
Yeah.
what Mike. Well, you gotta understand, like we already was cool with Outkast and Goody Mob, because don't forget we lived in their section in College Park.
Right,
So
right.
so before they blew up, we used to go to Club Candlewood, or they used to come to our house
In the hood, but yeah,
in
niggas
the
crazy,
hood.
yeah.
So all this shit is moving at the same time. Now, mind you, Outkast just got like a simple single out. They were not even blown up yet. They're actually coming out of New York while we're moving in their neighborhood in Atlanta. So what happened was Mike Jackson linked up with my man KP, who L.A. Reid picked up. Meanwhile, Ish and his brother was already moving in the industry, which linked up with Left Eye. So when it was time for us to come to
Put it in perspective. Remember, Richard Whistler was Smalls and was Junior Mafia.
yeah. His brother was in the lyric where he says I cooked the steak up, my man Jacob. That's
Yes.
Ish's
That's
brother.
just his brother.
Okay,
That's
talk
Ish's
about
brother.
it, man. Y'all
Yeah,
dropping some
That's
bars right
Ish's
now,
brother.
man.
yes, that's
Stop
his
playing, yo.
brother.
You
That's
know I get
Jacob.
amped up when I hear shit like that. Yo.
Yeah,
That's Biggie
when
Smalls
he said I
saying
cooked the
it.
steak up, my man Jacob, that's
Yo,
Ish's brother he talking about.
man, listen here. All right, keep going. I love it.
And that was Ish's brother. So they were all our people.
We were
Right?
all tied in.
We was all. So we what's the name? So that whole thing was coming to a head. So Left Eye wanted to meet me because Itch was telling her a lot about it. Jacob was telling her a lot about me. So one day I was waiting all day for her to come. She didn't come. And mind you, I'm still working, so
Right.
take my ass to sleep. And then I hear a knock on the door around 11:30 at night. And I open up the door, and it's Left Eye, and she has a whole entourage of people. So I hurry her up. I said, "Yeah, this is what I'm showing you. Okay, this is it. Blah 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 blah." And I get out.
Mm-hmm.
I kick them out. So Lisa, when I close the door, I hear Lisa on the back, on the outside of the door saying, "Left Eye." She said, "Can you just pick us out?"
Now, mind you, hold on, Neil. Neil, you saying it's real easy. This is when Waterfalls is like the
Right.
number one record in the country. And Neil showed them what he can do with the website, and he said, "Get out of my house." He literally kicked Left Eye, number one song in the country. He kicks her out the house. Go on,
Wow.
Neil. He makes it too light, yo.
Yeah. It's crazy, yo.
We can't hear you, Neil. We can't hear you. Hey, Neil, we can't hear
Yes,
you.
yes.
He know,
Can you hear
more.
me?
He's working on it. More. Give him a
Can you
second,
hear me?
B.
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah,
We
we
can
hear
hear
you now.
we can hear you
Okay,
now,
all
B.
right. See, just relax, bro.
Okay, I was like, yo, I thought you was like, yo.
Okay, so So that things were coming to a head. We had met with at that time we had met with what's it, Wu-Tang Clan. Remember one of the times they were
Steve, we
touring.
met with Steve Rifkin and everything. Yes,
We
we
met
did.
with all of them.
Yeah.
And then
Crazy.
Left Eye had came. So Left Eye, after she came to the house and I pushed her outside, after I showed her everything real quick and pushed her outside, and her friend was like, she said, did she just kick me out? And her friend said, yes, I think so. She said, I like that because you know me, I don't be treating people all like, you're a greatest musician. I don't give a shit about that. So from that point on, we became very close friends, me and Left Eye. So this is when we were trying to make inroads into LaFace Records. So at that time, the doors were still closed to us. Left Eye brings me into L.A. Reid's office. Remember I created that virtual world for Left Eye? And you're able to walk through and you see billboards, you go into rooms and stuff.
So mind you, I don't know if this was explained right. So we went from the enhanced CD was ahead of its time before websites. Does that make sense, Neil? Like we Neil pretty much invented. It was only two of us that had magazines. It was this magazine, this rock magazine called Launch, and us as a hip hop magazine. There was only two magazines in the country, maybe in the world, but in the country, it was only two. In fact, we got in contact with Launch, and Launch was like, "Oh shit, y'all doing the same thing we doing." The only thing that was doing another enhanced CD, everybody else was trying to do it with their albums, but they could never accomplish it. But what happened was websites kicked in, and that's where Neil was like, "Oh, this shit is easy. I can do websites. That's nothing."
Yeah.
So that made Neil go ahead and get with Left Eye and create like a whole website virtual world. And I'm gonna walk you back. So take it from there, Neil. I just wanted you to know that.
So she wanted L.A. Reid to see this. So she brings me into. She has me take my whole desktop, everything.
Yeah,
so she knocks off all the stuff on L.A. Reid's desk.
She sure did.
and I'm putting up all this stuff, and L.A. Reid is like, okay, only Lisa can come in here and do this. So he was like, he was amazed at what he was seeing, but he's like, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. I'm amazed. So he had some other dude come in there. So from that point on, all the doors flew open because Mike Jackson said, yo, I don't know what you did.
Right.
But all the doors are wide open for you. So I remember
after that, L.A. Reid was sold. Like after that, we owned the building.
Wait, there was one other point because I remember when Gip called me from Goody Mob and was like, yo, man, you need to come down here. You know, these people, they don't want you to do the website, this, that, and the other. So I get down there and L.A. Reid comes in the office and he remembers me from the other time. He says, oh, this guy. Yeah, I know him and he does excellent work. From that point on, that's when all the doors flew open.
Yo, White, when I tell you, put it like this, Pink was getting us stuff to drink from the store.
I remember you told me that. Yeah.
We used to send Pink to the store to get us stuff to drink while we're having meetings.
Yeah.
Real talk. Usher wasn't there. Nobody was big. Nobody like Outkast was up and coming. Outkast was actually starting to be their biggest artist, but Tony Braxton was like their biggest artist around this time.
Right.
And so all the doors flew open, and it was our heyday because
it was.
That's when money started pouring in. That's when I was sending everybody to halfway across the country to events and all of this. And
how can I be down? I was in Miami, niggas was in Florida, niggas was in California.
Down, Miami, everything. So, and what brought everything to a screeching halt was when the economy collapsed in the U.S.
Yeah,
and the economy went into a serious downturn. So all these projects, people stopped on these projects. I remember Priority Records, Ice Cube. They sent us, I think it was an $8,000 or $9,000 check.
Yeah, we had
And
Ice Cube.
and said that. So I'm like, yo, what's up with them? You know, I said, okay. They said they don't want to do the project. So what about the money that you guys sent us? He said, enjoy it. I was like,
Yeah.
free money, thank you. So that downturn, that was the beginning of the end for that heyday for Digital X, and that's when everybody started to kind of separate and move
Branch
on.
off
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because at that point, then that's when LaFace Records was closed down when L.A. Reid became president of MCA. You remember that, right?
I remember he was in talks with MCA. What I remember was that first it was Babyface didn't want to do any more with LaFace.
Right.
And that was a big shakeup in the building. Big shout out to Shanti Dawes,
No,
KP, and all
you're
that.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
First it was Babyface leaving, and then LA was holding it down by himself. But then
Right.
when the collapse, like you said, when the collapse came, I moved on a little early, but I
Right.
kept up with Mike Jackson and everybody else.
Yes,
Of course,
you did.
kept up with Neal.
You did.
And but from what I was reading, LA was looking to bail to I went RCA or MCA. It was one of those.
I forgot which one it was.
I forgot what it was, but and mind you, you know, White, this is when LaFace was the biggest record label out there.
Yes.
With TLC, Tony Braxton,
Yes.
Babyface, like it was the
Outkast.
biggest one.
It was
Goody
yes.
Mob, the Outkast.
Yes.
We got to know. That's how I got to know Dungeon Family. Big shout out
Right.
to Wildcat and Ray. Like that's how Big Rube is the one that actually Big Rube actually came to us and wanted to be on our team with Cypher. But go on there.
So what we did, that collapse. First, it was the downturn, the economic downturn, and then when LaFace left, that left a void. It really left a void in Atlanta, and it took the breath out of Atlanta.
It did.
So it took a long time for it kind of to recover, but it's not at the capacity that it once was.
No.
There's still that emptiness that's there.
Yeah.
Right.
So from that point on, that's when my sights started to turn to Africa. Now, why do I say Africa?
Well, first, Neal, okay, hold on. Before Africa, you don't forget, you and Left Eye got tight while LaFace was falling apart. And she was taking you back and forth. You've been to Honduras a number of times.
Well, yes, that's true.
And that's what Dr.
Are you in Honduras with her?
Yes.
Yeah. Break that down, Neal. First, break down the whole Dr. Sabi, everything.
Okay, first, she said, "Yo, do you have your passport?" I'm like, no. Why? Said, well, get it because we're going to Honduras. Okay, so I went and got my passport. She booked a flight with her and a bunch of entourage, her friends that we all knew, because I used to hang out at her house every weekend, and we went to Honduras together, and we was there in Usha Village for an entire month with Dr. Sabi. And
damn,
I knew Dr. Sabi.
Get the fuck out of here! That's crazy, though. Like now, that's all right.
I knew Dr. Sabi personally.
Yeah, he did.
That's crazy.
Before he was Dr. Sabi, Neal used to call
that's what I'm saying. Yo, more. I know. That's why I'm like, that's amazing.
That's nuts, yo.
Yeah. So I was with Dr. Sabi the entire time. We was in Usha Village. I met his son, and he was taking us around, and we had a great time. We had a great time. He was giving us some herbs that taste disgusting. That's supposed to cleanse us out. That shit was nasty, man. But it's supposed to cleanse us out. But I was with that whole scene, and this was 1999 going into 2000 because
and she had a documentary. I have to cut you off now. Now she had a documentary on Honduras. Everything I saw in that documentary, everything I saw before God bless Left Eye before she passed away, I already knew about, because Neal was calling me from Honduras like with detail. You know what I mean? So everything she was going through in Honduras, I knew about. Like Neal used to call me and say they used to. Was that the first place I used to have to shit in like holes or some shit like that? Like I used to have to take
No,
the
actually,
bathroom.
okay. There was some weird stuff like, you know, I had turned on the faucet and a tadpole came out out the water. And no, they did have running water. That they did.
Okay.
Nigga, a tadpole came out.
Yeah, because it was crazy. We was definitely in nature, but at the same time, it was absolutely beautiful because
right.
there was this place. It looked like an outhouse, right? You know, like you go a hole and you shit in a hole, but it was actually a bathtub, and the water was coming from a volcanic runoff. So all the natural minerals that was in that water was inside that bath water. So Dr. Sabi says, "Yo, just go in there." But that shit was so goddamn hot. I got in there and I started. It was cooking me. So I put my little pinky toe in there, and that shit looked like it was well done.
You need to write a book though.
He really does, bro.
Everybody says that.
You really do. You really need to write a book though.
So I waited until it it cooled off,
right?
And then I dived in it. But we spent. I actually had to go back sooner because there was things that I was working on for her.
Yeah.
That I couldn't finish if I was there. So I went back sooner than everybody else. But they were there for like a whole nother week or a week and a half or so. But yeah, I was there in Honduras with her, Dr. Sabi and all the rest of them, man.
Wasn't she working on like a cartoon superhero type of thing? Or like,
yes, she was working on this thing called Supernova.
Yes, I remember that.
And Neal was over that. Neal digitally was over that whole project.
Right. Yo, Neal, this one I was there for that. I remember Mo was telling me, I was like, "Oh, this thing Neal, okay, all right." Oh.
Yeah,
I was out there for that though.
Supernova was supposed to be her solo album, and
it was. It came out. It was
right. And what it was that she had the Lost Boys of Sudan sing in an interlude on that album. So and that's when she was like, "Yo, I'm going to Honduras." And I would have been with her if I was not involved with the Lost Boys of Sudan. Because
hold on, back up. Mm-hmm. Did you meet the Lost Boys through Lisa's situation?
No, I met them and introduced Lisa to the Lost Boys of Sudan.
Oh, so them being on her track was through you.
Yes.
Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Lost Boys of Sudan, Tears for the Sun, the Bruce Willis movie, is that about them?
Yeah. No, wait. In fact, some of Neal's homeboys are in that movie.
He's talking about that. He's talking about that. So.
Now check this out. We get a call that there's a producer looking for an African amputee. Now, one of the Lost Boys of Sudan, all of those people a lot of the people on that movie was through me.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Right. So we told the producer, yeah, we have one guy who has one leg. So the guy flew out there, and I already told him, yo, look, if they ask, right, if they ask you, we'll take you. Say I can't leave without the rest of my brothers. Mm-hmm. And they told him that, and they took all of them that was inside their house, because it was like about 5 of them in the house, and they flew them to Hawaii where they filmed it, and they were there for like 3 months. They were calling me from Hawaii saying,
so real quick, not to cut you off, but in that movie, so some of them dudes those are your mans in the movie?
Yes.
I know them. Yeah. Neal introduced him to me too. He was my guy.
Tears of the Sun. It's a sad movie, but that's Neal Peoples.
Yeah, those are my peoples, man. Yes, sir.
So hey, real quick, just to jump back, the little Jamal part on not making it to Honduras is because me and Left Eye, God bless her soul, kind of had a little rough patch.
I know she didn't like you.
We were she was so into Neal, like she was into Neal.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there one day, and Neal she was like, "Hey, you guys want something to drink?" This is my little story on Left Eye. God bless your soul. And now, mind you, this is a great evening I'm having with her because she took me upstairs to her room. God bless. I met another God bless. I met the girl from Black who passed away. I
No,
met
yeah,
her.
I chill with Left Eye and the black chick, but
Right.
it wasn't because
The
it
girl
was a
passed
bad
away.
Neil.
Yeah.
No, keep your thought, train of thought. She treated Maul like he was a fucking the nigga that hang coats, and I was like, God damn it, Maul.
Yeah.
Like
So
she didn't treat Maul good though. But go ahead.
but hold on. This is from that night. So me and Neil are in the freaking
I actually banged that girl from that night. But
we're
not
in the
gonna what the
kitchen.
black chick.
We're in the kitchen and left eye, Lisa goes, "Hey, you guys want something to drink?" And me and Neil was like, "Hell yeah, we'll take something to drink. Whoopty whoop." So she pours a drink and she gives Neil a drink. And then I'm standing there like, I thought me and you said we wanted a drink. So she goes, "Oh, you want a drink too?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take a drink." And she goes, "It's in the refrigerator."
Yo,
I was like,
yo,
now, mind you, before this fight, she took me upstairs. She didn't even have the name Black for her group yet. It was called
right,
Madison. She was
Yeah, I
bouncing
remember.
around on the name Madison.
right.
And we came downstairs. We was all comfortable. I don't know if because Andre was coming, because Andre Rison ended up
That's
showing
the
up.
dude at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was bothering her, whatever. But anyway, she urged me, and I told Neil. I looked at Neil like, did she just give you a drink and didn't give me a drink? I told her, I was like, "Nah, ma, I don't want one. I'm good." But right after that, Andre Rison comes walking in the house. And it was a short conversation with her and Andre Rison. But me and Neil was standing there. And he was like, they had some type, you remember Neil? They had some type of short conversation. He wasn't there that long. But
Well,
she was kind of like,
he was always like that. He was always there but not there.
but and he wasn't disrespectful or nothing. He said
No, he
hello
wasn't.
and everything to us.
He was,
Like he was
would
mad
just say
cool.
he'll just say hello and then he'll just disappear.
Then he'll be gone.
Right.
Yeah. But that's my little short story on Left Eye, man. Like that was it.
So
After that, Neil's calling me from Honduras. Like, "Nigga, I wish you was here." I was like, "Fuck you, nigga."
Wish you'd introduce me when on some good note, nigga.
Interesting enough, that was my first time traveling outside the U.S. and it was because of her. And now I travel. I've been all over the world, and I give that as her. She was the one who gave me that christening.
Rest in peace, Left Eye, y'all.
Champagne bottle.
That's dope. That's your friend too.
Yeah. So from that point on, after she passed away, my sights was my activity in Atlanta started to drop because there was really not much going on.
Right.
And my focus started to begin to bend toward Africa. Africa, I always wanted to go there. Mar knows this. I always wanted to live there. I always wanted.
But what happened in Atlanta that went ahead and ignited that? I mean, I know personally, but you tell me what ignited. Like you said, you brought Lost Boys to Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Well,
what ignited it?
I think what ignited that was after Left Eye had passed away. The Lost Boys of Sudan. I was with them constantly. Many of them now have moved on. They work in government and all types of positions.
Oh.
But I was with them constantly. So one of the guys, Mayom, he says, "Yo, I'm going to Africa." And I said, "Yo, can I come with you?" He was like, "Yeah." And that's how I first went. That was in 2006, and I went to Uganda. Now, my first trip there, I was nervous. I was kind of like, I didn't want to be found myself standing by myself. I don't know. I was just had this unrealistic, yo, what's up, Pop?
Pop Doogie.
That's Pop, man.
Pop Doogie.
We're on this podcast right now.
What up, Pop? He probably don't even remember me, yo.
I don't. That's Jamar.
Jamar.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a little ass baby at the time.
Yo, exactly. He
Yeah,
got
I
a
was gonna
beard and
say you look kind
everything.
of young. You can't remember you, Mo.
Yo,
You
Pop,
bugging.
yo, Pop. I used to give you piggyback rides when I came to Neil's house, yo. Like, you wouldn't let me stop giving you piggyback rides when I came to Neil's house, yo. This is a grown ass man with beard now.
Man, this is
I was
crazy.
about to say I'm too old for that shit now.
Yeah, my
Right.
back is too old for that shit now too.
Well, I'll see y'all later. Y'all take it easy.
All right, Pop. Good seeing you, my dude.
Same here.
What up, Vern? He probably don't even hear me, yo.
Look, Word turned around and said, "Yo."
So what it is, when I first went, I felt like a fish out of water because I wasn't fully acclimated to Africa, and or I knew the Africans, the brothers that I knew, but I didn't feel connected yet. And that first trip, it did open my eyes. I wanted to stay then, because there were some things that I have noticed, that they've always had black presidents. They always had black militaries, black scientists, black doctors, black lawyers, and that kind of intrigued me. So, but that first trip, I was only there for 3 months. Then I left. Right? Actually, it was 1 month. I'm sorry. Then I left.
Yeah, it was 1 month. Yeah.
Then my next, my mind was there constantly, and I'm gonna dive further into it, but I'm gonna tell you the timeline first. I went to Ghana in 2008, and that's when my eyes were fully open. That's when I was properly introduced to Africa, and that's when, hands down, I wanted to live there. And I'll tell you why. One, there are many opportunities that do not exist here in the United States that exist there. Music-wise, film-wise, business-wise, economically. While here the United States is in inflation, in Uganda their economy is growing by a whopping 7%. Right? Meanwhile, the United States economy is shrinking. So what does that mean? I mean, to me, that there's a lot of opportunities. We're dealing with Liam Voice, which is a very big artist in Uganda.
What up, Meds?
Now, my boy Agri, Agri has dealt with major artists, just like how we're talking about these major artists. Agri is a major player in Uganda with these artists. So he's part of my team. When I left, I went there first let me rewind. So when I came back for my first time in Uganda, I went to Virginia with some of the Lost Boys of Sudan. And the first president of South Sudan, his son was there. And his son heard of the work that I was doing in their community. And he said, he came to me and said, yo, man, I want to get your number. My name is Mabur. And everybody's telling me, yo, that's the president's son. And he says, I want to get your number, man. I want to call you. We can hook up because I heard you've been doing a lot of stuff in the community. I said, sure, no problem. So sure enough, he arrives in Atlanta and he calls me. So he ends up staying at my house when I was living out there in what the hell is it? Where I lived not too far from where your house was.
Clarkson?
Hell no, you never lived in no damn Clarkston.
No, you.
You remember when we was living way out there? I forgot the name of it.
Woodstock. We was off for Town Lake Parkway. Lake Parkway.
He stayed out there. He stayed out there with me for quite some time. So when his father died, he had called me on a satellite phone. My life is just crazy like that, man. It says, yo, you need to come out here. You need to come out here, man. There's a lot of things that we could do. So it wasn't until 2011 that I said, all right, I'm coming. I called him. I said, I'm coming. So he picks me up at the airport with a military escort. And they take me to the house. It's a mansion. It's a 5-bedroom. Actually, you could say it's 7 bedrooms because it has 2 smaller houses in the yard, and it's 5 bedrooms. and it had 2 or 3 bathrooms, and we had Ugandan military guarding our compound. It was insane. So even when I would go to the mall, and I don't know if I showed you this video. I have the video clip. We go to the mall. I had a military escort with me. You know, he was my bodyguard. He had a machine gun and he had fatigues.
Yeah.
He was military. So,
Crazy. I'd have loved it.
no, I did not love that, man, because that draws the wrong type of attention, and it was just crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I eventually had to tell him, yo, dude, you need to leave that damn machine gun and those fatigues
Whoa.
home. If you want to go out, just go out as a regular person. Yeah, you can still be the bodyguard. You can jump in front of a car or whatever, but you can leave that damn machine gun home.
Right.
So that's when I met JDM and Riggs and all those guys. JDM is an artist that I manage. I also manage Agri, the producer. And he's dealing with a lot of artists, a lot of famous artists in Nigeria, as well as Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania and some other places. So the legacy continues even in Africa. If you ever decide that you wanted a change of pace, one of the things that I say that Africa offers an opportunity to live a better life than you're living here.
Right.
Jamal, you look like you're sideways, man.
Yeah,
Am I
Jamal, you
sideways?
leaning real quick. Yeah, hell yeah, you fucking sideways, man.
Yeah, man. You're making me
Yo.
dizzy.
But yo, me and Mark, I don't know if Mark told you, but we got an artist. He's from Africa though.
What's his name?
He's from Ghana.
He's from Ghana.
Okay. Yeah.
And he dope.
So-
He's super dope. Super dope.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
19 years old. 19. And he's like one of the dopest I heard in a long time. So I'm mad excited to work with him. Like,
Yo, let me
he's
tell
only
you.
19. You know?
Let me tell you, there's artists that's all over Africa, and the dope thing is that the music industry is still developing. So like now's the opportunity to get in. That's why I started Raven Media. So we have a full-blown recording studio with one of the dopest producers in Uganda, and we have a film company. We're running Blackmagic 6K Pros, field recorders, panel lights, all of that shit, everything. Boom.
Well, you need to let Neal hear him, yo.
Yeah, nah,
Yo,
I was
this
gonna do
dude
it.
is one of
I was gonna
I
do
swear
it
he's
after
one of the
we.
dopest I heard in a long time.
Nah,
Like,
I was gonna do it after we brushed up the pull up remix. I was gonna go ahead after we brushed up.
yeah. He's super dope, yo. So
Because we got artists. We have artists in the U.S. In Uganda, right? that wants to appeal to a larger audience. But one of the things that I've been coaching them is to craft your music so that both the local audience can like it, but also the international audience can like it. Because one of the things that you guys don't realize is that Africa is 1.3 billion people on the continent. If you look at that as your market, that's a lot of cheddar, my friend.
yeah.
That's a lot of streaming cheddar.
It is.
So Spotify.
You don't even need America to get rich. You can get rich without America. You don't need.
No,
America.
you can. Why do you think I'm there? Like I have, I have 3 businesses running. A branding company. We have the film company, and we have the recording studio, and they're doing well. And I could never been able to accomplish that here because of all of the craziness, and I'm able to do that there. So, and it's the same thing. People are like, yo, you're a genius. How do you know all of this? How do you see these trends? Because I'm identifying trends already, and I have my crew that I've been influencing and training, and they're like, yo, man, all this stuff no one knows about yet. And if they do, they're surprised because we've known about it for over a year now, and they're just now beginning to taste it. So to me, Africa's home, with no questions. And I would never want to change that. it's not like one of these places like, you know, like how Atlanta has changed. You go, remember when we first got to Atlanta, Mar, how it was dope. And
Mhm.
and they had the Freakniks and all of that. Well,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
that was dope. And but then as time went on, it changed. And then when like again the folding of LA LaFace Records and all that, it just the heart and soul came out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Kampala in Uganda, and the heart and soul is very much there, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm I love the challenge that's ahead of us
Yeah.
because we are going against another film company called Swans Avenue, who's very big. But we have the technology, we have the creativity and the energy. So to me, it's refreshing to be in that environment once again, like
Hmm.
when we did Cypher Magazine and Digital X from the very beginning. It feels good to be in that environment once again and to learn from some of the mistakes that we made on that journey.
Right.
So, um, one of the things that I've been saying, and both of y'all are definitely invited. Y'all should take a trip out to Africa, and we can connect you with the shakers and movers. Um, you guys can interview them. We have the camera equipment. We could actually do the interview from
Yeah,
there.
we got to do it.
E-
Yeah, we
That'll
gotta
be
Even
do it.
even in our recording studio. You know, you can interview from there. We can go on site anywhere. So we're capable of doing it. We have a whole camera crew and everything. So, you guys, because imagine if you take your brand and say, "Yo, we are broadcasting from East Africa, Uganda." That would
right.
be that hot shit.
Yeah, it
That
would
would,
be
Dope.
dope.
Super dope.
yep.
Super dope. Big killing.
So yeah, man. So that's what I'm on now. Again, many people have always told me you need to write a book
Yeah,
because
you
Really
gotta
do.
write a book, Neil.
You
they're
definitely
like,
do now.
You gotta write a book.
I mean, even all the way to the time when I met Andrew Young and he had requested me. And remember when we was doing Impress Multimedia?
Yep.
Andrew Young had got wind of it through one of Dr. Dre's producers, and he arranged a meeting with Andrew Young, and we had a meeting for about 2 to 3 hours with him.
Yeah.
Damn, yo. So
Yeah,
you met Andrew Young?
yes, personally,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow. You
And
know?
wait, it even gets better. I met the president of Uganda at the State House. I was invited to the State House to meet the president of Uganda.
That's crazy.
So,
That's
it's
crazy,
like that.
yo.
It's like this whole thing. My life has been this you know meetings of famous people and dignitaries and important people. And one thing, if there's one advice that I would give everyone, live your life and don't waste it.
Yep.
Right? Um, don't
Enjoy
waste
it.
it. Don't
Enjoy
get
the
tied
journey.
down. Don't trade. Don't trade your dreams for nothing.
Yep.
um, I have I have broke the mold and have been able to go to places that I would never. I've been to France. I've been to
Hmm.
Ethiopia. I've been to Ghana. I've been to Rwanda. I've been to the Netherlands. I even been to Ireland. Right?
Mm.
And I've been to all these different places, and not and many more. I've been to Ghana, many more, and
Coming
these are
straight from
places
Queens.
coming straight from Queens in the ghetto.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've learned a valuable lesson. Live your life.
Yes,
Don't. It's
sir.
not. It's not enough just to work, just to work, and then go on a cruise, and that's not enough.
No.
Be an adventurer. See the world. The world is bigger than the Bahamas and Jamaica and all these places that's local. The world is
Right.
very big, and I can tell you some of the places I've seen. There was one place that I was so excited. I even wanted to cry. It was so beautiful. It's a place called Fort Portal in Uganda, and oh my God, man, this place is like paradise. And You can see the mountainous ranges and the clouds, the snow-capped mountains, and the green all the way, deep green all the way to the eyes can see, with ponds and the colors. Oh my God, man! It made you proud to know that this was the land of your ancestors. It made you proud of that. That this type of beauty can actually exist here. And
Right.
even in hip hop is alive and well in Uganda. People are still even breakdancing, which is kind of surprising to me.
I get it. I know.
They're breakdancing out here too.
Yes, but I mean, they living that shit hard. You know, they like up rocking and shit. But so what I'm saying is that to really sum everything up, one of the things that I can say about my life is that I have taken full advantage of it, good times and bad times. I've enjoyed. I've met people and seen things that I would never imagine that I would see in my lifetime. Coming from the ghetto in Queens, you know what I'm saying? So, like I say to all those people that's out there that's listening, always stay focused and never ever trade your dream in, because and make sacrifices as you have to, because it's not going to come easy. It requires commitment, and it requires sacrifices,
Yes, sir.
decisions, and
Yes, sir.
just getting up and doing it, even when you don't want to, just to make it
Yes,
happen
sir.
that you want it to happen.
Yes, sir.
And I just told Tiny. I talked to Tiny today. I don't know if you remember Tiny. She's like,
I remember-
I remember Neil. She's like, she phoned in. I
follows me on
guess.
Facebook.
Yeah. She told
Yeah.
me, she was like, I still talk to Neil. I said, that's what's up. So she,
Hey,
I
Neil.
was like,
Neil, don't go
Yo.
anywhere. Hold on.
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but here we go.
Oh my God. It's the smooth Casanova.
What's going
man,
on?
Hey man, don't bounce those bed springs.
Hey, yo, how about turn this volume up, yo?
Can you hear
It's
me?
it's
We
called
can
the
hear
volume
you.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
converter, man.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah. You know what? Let me get my headphones.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Chilling, man.
Chilling.
What y'all rapping about?
Nah,
we
just-
happy to have you
actually-
on, dude.
We
You
just
know
went
what I'm
through the
saying?
journey,
Like,
yo.
I was
Wait,
bigging
let
you
me
up
get
for a
my
minute, man.
damn headphones on. Sorry.
So yeah,
Okay,
man.
one sec.
Meeting the I think one of the highlights was meeting the president of Uganda.
Right.
He okay, I was involved. Uganda has launched a satellite through SpaceX, and I was involved in that project.
Oh,
So
dope.
yeah, so they had me. They actually pushed me in front of the president to ask to ask him to push the communications commission to give us specific frequencies so that we can control the satellite from Uganda. So I was involved in that, and that's how I met the president. so all these things from
I'm gonna go to Uganda with your picture. If I go to, I'm gonna have your picture and like, yo, this is my guy. Don't fuck with me. This is my guy right here, baby.
White will have you on a t-shirt. Real
You feel
flag.
me?
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, man. Yeah.
they probably gonna be like, who the hell is this?
Right. They better.
Neil have that face.
Let me tell you, stupid, man. Looking like old dirty bastard. Yo, what happened
I
to Lamont?
lost him. He stepped up.
So let me tell you, man. So one of the things that that you will notice, that you will like, is that Ugandans are very, very friendly. They are they're friendly. They're hospitable. They even voted Uganda as the friendliest country on the continent, and it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will invite you into their house. If you say, "Oh man, I just arrived and not have a place to stay. People say, "Oh, well, you can stay here." I
Wow.
mean, yeah, people are like that, man. People are very friendly, and they will go out their way to make sure that you're happy and that you're treated well.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it there. I won't trade it for nothing. I'm you know I'm in a place where where we're the majority and not the minority. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm in a place where we're the majority and not the minority. I'm made great inroads. I have, like I said, I have 3 successful businesses running, and we'll be working on the 4th one. And I couldn't do that here. It's just impossible. But in Uganda, it was quite easy once I had the proper resources.
Right.
So, musically, we are working hard. Raven Media, we've been pushing the brand. We've been on television. We've been featured on radio stations. The whole deal. And now we recently got there's a client of ours. We recently got her stuff placed on satellite TV, and now we
Dope.
wrote a series, a TV series. I have a team of script writers. I wrote the script, and then I gave it to my script writers so that they can embellish it. And we're in the process of filming that also. It's called Basia. So this is part of a larger story called Al Keeblan. Al Keeblan is the movie, and Basia is the series. So these are things that will be virtually impossible to do here. And it's because it's a growing industry there. It's very easy to accomplish those things.
Right.
So I would not trade my decision to go there for anything. I am very, very, very happy there. And by the way, and this Lamont might laugh at this because Lamont laughs at any damn thing.
No, I'm on my best behavior tonight.
Yeah, sure you are.
Always Lamont. I talked to Tiny tonight. She was like, "Yo, I know Lamont." I said, "Yeah, I know. We went to Queens and shit."
This is my permanent resident card in Uganda.
Look at now.
So
Look at now.
I actually literally have a green card because it's green.
That's what's up.
So
I'm telling you now, I'm gonna go out there with a T-shirt with your face on it. I'm like, don't fuck with me.
In fact, take a picture of that green card, White.
I'm about to screenshot it on my computer right now.
Screenshot that green card.
Yeah.
I'm I'm with him.
So I've been it's good because the team that I have that's out there, they're dedicated, they're hardworking, they're talented, and they're hungry. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about for food. There's plenty of food in Uganda.
Nah, man.
No, I'm saying that because Lamont has jokes.
Nah, I'm on my best behavior.
I know Lamont got jokes.
I know, because in his head, he may not be saying shit, but in his head, there's like thousands of jokes going through his head right at any given time. And he knows, he's acknowledging it. He's like, yeah. So
I'm on my best behavior tonight.
So
I can't fool with you, yo.
But it's I love it there, man. I love it there. And my whole journey from the very beginnings to this, to me is it's still amazing because there's still amazing things going on in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meeting the president of Uganda, meeting the because they don't have senators or congressmen, they have ministers. Ministers living in the first lady's house of South Sudan. They have a company of soldiers on the compound. These experiences, and there's not many people who can live such a life that with such vibrancy. And that's why I feel so lucky and so blessed that I have had all of these experiences and still having them.
Right.
That's
So,
dope. No, that's dope.
yeah,
And I'm very proud of you in that journey too. I'm very
yeah,
proud of you
Definitely.
in your journey, yo. Like to see where you came from, to hang out with you on your journey. It's a
yep,
real dope experience. It's a real
yep,
dope situation to just watch you grow. And
yeah,
many more, yo, for real.
Definitely facts, yo. Definitely.
yeah, man, yeah, man. So we're working on some stuff.
Cool.
The next iteration is
That's what's
coming,
up.
and my goal is whenever I decide to check out of this damn place, I wanna have left my mark. Um, and I think I think I have done a decent part of that so far. Um, my boy Riggs, who I pulled out of the ghetto, right? I paid his school fees since he was in secondary school.
Right.
He has just graduated with his degree in law, and he goes to law school in September.
Man.
Dope.
My boy JDM, who I pulled out of the ghetto also, out of the
Big
slums.
JDM.
Yeah, he's what's his name? He got his degree in industrial arts, and he wants to go to school for film. So, it's not just about me and my journey, but it's also about helping people along on their journeys. And I feel blessed that I've been a part of that, being able to take these two brothers and make them like they're my sons. And
Yeah, Ernest, I see that. Neal taught me how to produce with no equipment, only my ears. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
too.
man.
And,
He
and,
taught
and,
me how
and
to
I,
rap. He taught me how to rap without,
yeah.
being on
yes,
cadence and all that.
And I do remember, hey, Ernest, I remember me having to fall out with Neal when he gave me all this equipment, and then Vernon got killed, and then we had no equipment. He wanted me to use my ears. And I was like, oh,
did you say wait?
no. I
His
was like,
name
no,
wasn't
but it was
wait. His name wasn't Vernon. It was Viscount.
oh,
Damn,
Viscount.
Mo. God damn it,
Viscount. That's
man.
exactly
See,
Neal.
look at
Yes,
Lamont.
Totally
Look,
different name, nigga. Totally different name.
yo, look at Lamont. Look at
Viscount.
Lamont. Look at Lamont.
Yo, Lamont, you remember Viscount?
But I remember him and shit. God damn.
Yo, you see Lamont? You see, I told you Lamont's gonna start. Like he can't help it.
He's trying his best. He's gonna turn blue in a second,
Yo, Lamont. Yo, Lamont.
What's
One time
good?
me and Mo had a show and we ran into Moni Love and Mo was like, "Yeah, I'm cool." And he wanted to say, I said, "Yo, Mo, run up." I said, I grabbed her and after that, her and Mo was vibing, because she knew you and Mo. I said, Mo, I run up on everybody, nigga. I don't care.
Yeah.
I said, I'm running up on him. He already knew her from you, and y'all was out
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
I dropped Lamont name and it was ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
she's like,
yo.
oh,
She
hell
looked at
yeah,
me and
yo.
shit. I was like, oh,
Yo,
shit, Mo.
do you know that the time where Lamont, Moni Love, and Lamar and Mar, we was at Moni Love's video shoot, and Tupac was there, and I actually
Yeah,
shook hands with Tupac.
You met Tupac?
yeah, we all met Tupac.
I ain't
Yes,
never met
Lamont,
that
you
nigga,
remember
man.
meeting Tupac too, right? He's at the video clip.
I was drunk.
Oh,
yeah, he was.
Nah, Tupac was at the video set. Yo,
Yeah, I remember.
Yo, Lamont, Tupac was at Hip Hop Hooray video set.
I know.
Lamar was crazy, man.
It was a crazy ride, bro. It was crazy.
It was
And
such
I
a
was
blur.
crazy.
Like what I try to explain, Lamont, is that we were coming up around the time Tretch and Tupac, Lost
Right.
Boys, before the Biggies, before the Jay-Z's, before all that. We were trying to come up. The only one that was in our lane was Boot Camp Click, and you know what I mean? Like we were in that
Boot Camp,
environment.
ain't they from Brooklyn, no?
No, but you don't understand, White. Like the whole music scene was still all, White. The whole music scene was still all together because because everybody was linked between managers and music execs.
That's when New York was what it was.
That's when New York was
it
like
wasn't
a
the
high
back
school.
boroughs or whatever. Yeah, it was. We was from New York. That's what
I
it
tell
was.
everybody all the time that Lamont, like Diddy was really like, I don't know if it was the day, but it was like Diddy was going to sign us, and it was like the day he got fired. Is that right? Am I saying it right, Lamont? Is it the day he got fired, or around the time he got? The time we was waiting for him, and he
No,
came in.
he gave us.
Is that the part? Yeah,
He gave us a demo budget.
Right.
Kurt Burrows gave us a demo budget and told us to return the project back that next week. And when we went back up there, Diddy had got fired.
And you remember what? I mean, you remember Lamont? We were right by Diddy's office, wasn't we, Lamont? Sitting in the chair. He came in with an attaché case attached to his arm, walking to his office, and he looked sad as shit. And Lamont looked at me like, yo, this is probably badass timing, yo, because he looked at us and he said, what's up? But he went into the office like, and that's when we got the news from Kurt. Like, that was it. Like his whole vision of Uptown was done. And it was crazy because our boys were signed to Uptown.
Man, you know should have kept cool with Diddy, but yeah, that.
Hey, who was that producer, Neal, and Marty, the SWV producer dude?
Supreme.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that because I was involved in the remix for that thing.
Yeah.
Neal. In fact, Neal, didn't you salvage a deal where you had to put a tape together or some shit like that? Tell that story.
What happened was Supreme had got the deal, and they, Supreme didn't really. Well, first of all, what's name was interested in Supreme. I forgot the name of the A&R guy at RCA, and I went down to RCA, and I negotiated the deal. I was there with Barry Airwood, and I negotiated the deal.
Oh, that was my manager.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, man. So we got the deal, and then we're there, and we're doing the remix, and Supreme didn't know how to do it. He didn't know how to approach it. They gave us a DAT with just the vocal track, and that was it. So we go into the studio. We're working all day and all night, and we didn't have enough time to finish it the day they wanted it. So I called them and I said, "Look, we're still working on it. We're gonna need another day." Barry Airwood was afraid of him because he didn't want to talk to him. He said, and I said, "No, just call him." And I said, "Yo, we're not finished. We're gonna give it to you tomorrow." The guy was like, "Sure, that's fine, no problem." So he's like, "That's what he said?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's what he said, dude."
Yeah.
So that whole scene, it was a wild ride, man. It was.
Yeah. Neal, I have to say, you had us on the path, bro.
That was before the Human Nature remix, right?
Yes, that was
right here. That was their first single.
Damn.
Yep. That was right before Teddy Riley came in and dropped the Human Nature remix and took it over.
I niggas been on the path, yo. There's history in the building right now, yo. From Neal to Lamont, yo. And I was around more. More was managing me when I first came around, y'all, yo. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, more sucked, yo.
Wait. You say more sucked doing what do you mean?
Nah, he just sucked, but he's my guy because he taught me so much. And what Morris taught me in my life is moved me like in my life. I'm talking about career wise, not just music, career wise. And he probably learned it from y'all, from growing with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And he taught me the same shit. And I move like that, yo. That's why what
I learned by managing Dwight and the crew was, I hate to say it, but my relationships in Atlanta with the execs end up being more important than trying to push a group in front of their face.
That was the best part, though.
And then at the end of the day, it sounded crazy because the whole thing was, everybody's like, yo, they're all your friends. They should sign you. but they all had people in front of us. So
Yeah.
after a while, I was starting to really not even want to mess with them anymore. Like,
Well,
yo,
I mean, and then also it makes you look like you begging. You know what I'm
yeah, it
saying?
makes you, yeah, exactly. White knows that now. It makes you look like you.
It does, but I did bring something to a different element. You got to be a lot more aggressive, though, and not begging
That was the
aggressive,
gamble,
though.
White. That was the
It
gamble.
is though, but you got
That's
to
the
sometimes you got
gamble,
to
and
gamble.
I
Like
didn't do that gamble. Like
I
I was,
didn't, but
yeah, I didn't do that
you
gamble.
didn't. But look, but now when we go out, I make sure you that guy. If we out, I'll debo anybody. And like nigga, this is who we are.
Yeah,
This is who
I
Mo
didn't
is.
debo people.
Whatever. And
Nah,
I do
I didn't
that, yo,
debo people.
because you gotta debo people. That was what you missed, and you gotta
Yeah,
debo
I didn't know.
people.
I didn't debo people because when I got to White, I already established Cypher magazine. So I
Right.
had all
You been
these
there already, yo. You
relationships
already, yeah.
where Whiteman was like, nah, go in the door. And I'm like,
Right.
that's my homie. It's like going to Lamont's house, like, yo, if you don't listen to this demo tonight, you're not
Yeah.
my friend anymore. And it's
Right.
like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
that's
loved
my
it now,
guy.
but I loved it now. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you
So
still gotta
after
be
a
a little
while,
aggressive.
White learned that me and him had a lot better relationships later down the line where people don't even know the
Right.
relationships we have of some of the people.
I'll give you an example. There's an artist in Uganda. The guy I've been talking about, Leon Voice. He's all over the place. He's touring the UK. He toured Dubai. He's toured Turkey. So he's one of the artists that records at our studio, at the studio that I set up. So my boy Ahmed, he's like, yo, man, I want to do a collab with him, man. Yo, and he wants to kind of like bum rush the session and ask him. And I'm like, no, man, you don't do that, man. There's a way of approaching people without just busting in and just being pushy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're being pushy. So I understand that completely.
Yeah, especially.
No, yeah.
Especially
It's a certain line though. Like here's my thing. I don't know about now because we old
Hold on
now,
for a
but
second, guys.
with the industry, you still got to be somewhat aggressive. I always
No,
felt that way.
you absolutely right. You got to be aggressive. It's just who you're
Yeah.
aggressive with. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just who you're aggressive with, and who you're absolutely right. You know what I mean?
You gotta be
Yo,
aggressive because
it's look. I don't want to say it's aggressive, right? That's a strong word. I would say that you're just being firm. Like, yo, I got this artist, and you're being convincing. Aggressive is a bit unprofessional, only because you're being pushy. You know what I'm saying? You're like, see, look, look.
Right.
That's being aggressive. But if they respect you and they respect your judgment and you've proven yourself before, then they'll listen to you. You don't have to push it in their face. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, everything was created through a relationship in the industry. No matter the pushing your demo in people's face and they signing it right there was like a lottery ticket. Even like with me and Lamont, like take me and Lamont, like we had to know Kurt Burrows to get there. Like we didn't find Puffy on the street and grab this, like, yo, play this right now. Like it wasn't like, please listen to our demo. We created relationships with Kurt Burrows outside of us not being pushy with him was helping us move around Manhattan a little bit, like with shows or with other relationships. Before we even got the Puffy. Is that true, Lamont? Like you remember that?
Yeah.
Like Kurt was helping us move around a little bit, being with one of the biggest dudes that was in the industry. So I learned from New York, and then I learned through Cypher magazine that your relationships, because at the end of the day, you can push a demo all day, and then your record could be a flop, or they could shelve you. And then all of a sudden, it's like nobody want to mess with you.
Well,
But
that's what Neal taught us. Let me tell you something. If Neal wasn't in our corner, we might have got a garbage deal.
Yes.
And went and flopped. But by listening to Neal, and I'm being straight honest here. I don't know. I've never been straight on. I mean, non-jokingly with y'all. But you prepared me for life. Like beyond the deal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You told me about preparation, setting high standards for yourself.
Yes.
You hold your head high, and if you don't get it, you move on. You don't just sign something just to sign it. You
Right.
don't just and you taught me that there's no limit to whatever you want you can obtain if you
Right.
prepare yourself for it and
That's
and,
right.
and, and do your due diligence and whatever you're doing, you'll get it. You
Right.
will get it. And I just
Well,
don't think hip hop was for us in that
right.
moment because he wasn't letting us take no shorts, and we didn't.
Nah,
Right.
Right.
And that's the same shit what Maul did with me and Tiny, and I never regret our path we took with Maul because like we've been through so much shit, and that's why me and Maul was able to move forward like with our shit nowadays beyond being family, because Maul is like more than me than just family, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he always taught us like it's bigger than the picture, like signing your soul over, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I never, but I am aggressive though, and I bring that to the table. You know what I'm saying? I told more that like you more know, like I walk us in, we more know them, and I'll be like, nigga, I know him, I know, and they walk us in, and then I'll be like, more do your thing, yeah, and then more do
yeah,
his thing, yeah.
no, no, no. The
Yo,
white is
yo,
in that. The
yo,
white's in our world, yo. He's in our
yo.
orbit.
I'm gonna have to bow out because
All right,
I got a bunch of things I got to do, and I'm starving.
all
Oh,
right. Go
do your
ahead,
thing,
please,
now.
bro. Thank you for being here, man. Real
Yes, sir.
talk,
Yo,
man.
man,
It's
it's
been
a
real. Thank you
blessing.
for letting us go through
Salute,
your
Nell,
journey,
yo.
man.
I celebrate
Yes.
You've been an inspiration to all of us always, Nell, and keep
Yes,
doing
sir.
your thing, yo.
All right, man.
Appreciate you,
Thank you
bro.
Definitely.
guys, and I'm glad you guys have me on here, man.
All right, man. We appreciate you. Big shout out
Hey,
to
wait up, Neil, you out of
Uganda
here?
and all that.
I'm
Huh?
here in the U.S. for about 20 something days. I leave on the 31st, then I'm back out to Uganda.
Wait up. What's going on here? Wait,
Can you hear me?
wait. I can't hear y'all.
You can't hear me. Yo, Lamont looks stupid, man. Look at his head, man. He looks
What's
funny.
going on with my audio?
Yo, man, you can't hear me? Good. I can talk a lot of shit about you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny ass head. Look like a
Wait
damn
up.
bullet. Word, look at that damn. I should
Looking like
shine
a
that.
milk dud. Looking like a milk dud, like a motherfucker.
Word, look like an off brown milk dud.
I hear y'all talking crap.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Neil Yodas. God damn
Oops.
it.
Real quick. All right,
Hey,
well,
yo,
shout out
yo,
to Queens,
Lamont,
though. Queens in the building.
Neil got a bounce, yo. He's been with us for like
Neil,
over 2 hours, yo.
bro, Neil, yeah, he definitely got a bounce. Neal Kelley, though, man, he was in the
Yo,
All
building.
right.
all right. Hey, Neil,
Yep.
salute. I
What?
appreciate you. I love you, man. Like this is thank you for coming through.
That's
And
all.
this is one of our biggest interviews, and I appreciate that, bro.
Yes,
Right.
sir. Yes, sir. So,
All right.
Neil, where you at? You in New York?
I'm in New York. I'm in Rosedale.
Hey, yo, Lamont, we even had Hot Nano on the camera, yo.
Nana?
Yo, she came out in a roller. She'd be like, she be rolling.
Yo, you know how old she is, Lamont? You know how old she is?
I know she's 100.
100 years
Wow.
old, yo.
It's a
Yep.
That's
blessing.
crazy.
Yep.
That's
And she
what
still,
because
and
when we
yo,
was in
she
the
still got
basement,
her
she was like
motorbike.
75.
She still
Yeah.
got her motorbike.
It's crazy.
No, she about 70 then.
It's like, yeah, I be telling her to stop popping those wheelies down the street.
Hey, yo, Neil, give everybody my love, man. Tell
Definitely,
everybody
man.
what's up. And I appreciate
Alright.
you coming through, dude. Real talk.
Definitely.
All right,
Alright,
yo.
guys.
All right,
All
right,
I'll
yo.
holler at you, yo.
All right, Dwight.
All right.
All
All
right,
right,
yo.
yo.
Later.
Yo.
Big Al.
I told you I was gonna be on my best behavior.
Yo.
Yeah,
We like Lamont got the behind the scenes stories and shit.
I know you do, man.
No, I'm not doing that. Yo, big shout out to my man Neil. We're not even doing that. Big shout out to my man Neil. I can't even get out your brain right now. Big shout out to my man Neil. Thank you for everything, man. Big shout out to my big brother Lamont, man. My man
Right.
L's on the screen right now, man.
Lamar, real quick. How's your son doing?
Oh,
LJ.
yeah, the music is good. He got some new videos, and he went down to San Antonio and did a show. So
Yeah.
Dope.
he's doing good. He's still putting his foot on the metal. You
That's
know,
what's up.
he's good.
We're gonna be reaching out to him real soon. We got some projects we need for him to be on with us, man, to go ahead and so we can help him out too. But we got some projects that we want him to collabo on too, also. So
Definitely, yeah. Because I
For real,
want him to
I got to send y'all some links to the new stuff. He's growing. He's
If
growing.
he's grown from what I heard, then he's probably.
Oh yeah,
damn near-
1,000%. I'm gonna send
Yeah,
y'all some links when we hang up.
Okay.
hey, so Al, so the next show I want to do is my walk by walk of growing up in Queens. And I'm talking about from back in the day, from DS to Lost Boys to Onyx to Lamar Odom to Supreme Team, 50 Cent, to everybody. So I want you on that show, yo.
Yeah, we do it. Just let me know what's up. But
I'm gonna throw some around your time where you're available.
More, we gotta get. Can we still get Lamar? Or no, from
who?
Moses. Moses got that right.
What's that?
Lamar Odom.
Yeah, we get Lamar Odom. We can get him on the screen.
You gotta get him on it. Yeah, you gotta get him on it.
Yeah, we gotta get him. Hey, yo, I just saw something on Anthony Mason the other day, a documentary on Anthony Mason, and it didn't have us in it.
Yeah, hey, you know a good show. Another one would be to get my pops on here.
Oh, James Ryan's. Ryan. God bless.
He's one of the winningest street ball coaches ever.
Word, yo, let's do it, yo.
Yo, White, that's the one I told you that introduced us. Like he was over Anthony Mason project to the Knicks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's real big.
Oh yeah.
So let's do that soon. Let's get that all together. All right, my dude.
All right, that's what's up.
Yo, Ernest, good looking out for coming through, yo. One love to Daytona. We gotta give Trey, and we gotta get Trey Williams up here too, yo. We gotta get Trey on his mug too, yo. For real.
Oh yeah, Trey. Yeah. Oh yeah, my man Trey.
Yeah. You can reach out to Trey for us, right?
Yeah. I can reach out to Trey.
All right, let's do that. Let's get that all together, man, for another show. Real talk.
All right, that's what's up.
All right, my dude. Thank you for coming through, Al.
All right, salute.
All right, my dude. All right.
All right.
Hey, yo, White. So we're gonna sign out. Yo, good looking out, everybody, for coming through. This is a great show we had. This was a very important interview of my life.
Grateful
and the White's life too, because he's a part of my life too. You know what I mean? So y'all kind of like got the introduction of why I'm here, sitting here talking to y'all.
Right.
And I appreciate everything. So White, thank y'all for coming back to us. White, I'm glad you did, man. Thank you for going through everything with me and my brother, man. Yo, good looking out.
Dope.
I want to say that on camera.
Dope. Shout out to Neal. Neal's a blessing, though. Shout out to Neal. He did so much.
Big shout out to Neal Kelley. Big shout out to my man Lamont. Big shout out to Ernest. Y'all, Ernest, we're gonna get you on the show too. Big shout out to Black and That Feeling family. Thank you for having us back. You know what I mean? Yeah. And yo, until next time, I want to say thank you. Yo, you still there?
Yeah, hang up. Peace, nigga. I'm out.
Yo, you out too? All right, nigga.